Yes, guys, what's up? Yes, guys, what's up? Please share the video. I'm not going to say anything bad against you. Just share the video. We appreciate it. And we'll be live on Radio Liberty 88.1 anytime from now. And we'll be here for the next 1 hour. And we appreciate if you can share the video. Okay, good. Is this the general show? Yes. And let me see. Uh, 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 um, Vacan, send me your information because I always okay. I think I'll put Lanford because when I put Afro Vikings, I can't even get you. Okay, let me see. What's up, guys? How you doing? How are you doing? How are you doing? Okay, and Vacan, send me your information because I try to reach you, but when I go to that Afro Vacan, it's not coming up on my page. So I don't know. So inbox me so I can bring you on, or send me your email address, one of them. So inbox me now, please. Send me your email address. Guys, please bear with me. We'll soon be starting the show. I'm waiting for the guy in studio. He was on his way, the traffic. And share the video, share this video. Yeah, Sidiki. Yeah, what happened? Oh, okay. I just to make sure. I thought something happened to you. Okay. All right. I thought Dennis, I'm all right, my man. I'm doing good. I'm fine. We're just trying. I hope you yourself you're doing good. And I hope you are doing good, my brother. You know, when I leave the social media until Liberia is free, 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 free. And if I can send me your information quick now. Yes, we will remain on social media until we elect Mr. Cummings as president of Liberia. So for those of you who don't want to see my face, you got a long time to go. I will stay here. You're not the one who paying my bills. You're not the one who paying the internet bill. It's not your business. If you don't like it, you don't need to watch me. But what I'm going to tell you is that if you're an independent person, you will want to listen to me. If you are an independent person. So this is why I'm supporting Mr. Cummings and I'm trying to sell my product. Mr. Cummings is the best person for this job. Amongst all the candidates, Mr. Cummings is the number one. He's the best. He is the man with the platform. And he is the only one who telling me. So for you to be clear on his message, I want you to please listen to this.
There are 5 priorities, and we call that the what's. And then there are 5 things we call the how we'll do it. And those priorities are as follows. Infrastructure. Simply put, is electricity, it's roads, it's water, and it's internet and cell phone connectivity across Liberia. We have to invest in infrastructure. That is the top priority. That's the basis on which we can and will do everything else. The second priority for us is job creation. There are too many unemployed, underemployed, and unemployable Liberians. The unemployment rate is over 85%. And therefore, job creation, next priority, creating jobs for the Liberian people. The next priority is agriculture. We are a country that these are things we can do for ourselves. We should be producing rice to feed ourselves. And my commitment is that by the end of my first term in office, we will be self-sufficient. And within education, we're focused on vocational training, teachers training, and adult education. But we have to educate our young people because, again, that's how we can help them create jobs. That's how we can train farmers. And so these things are all linked together. And our final priority in terms of the what's is health. Structure, you can have a good job, You can feed yourself, you can have great education, but if you don't have your health, it doesn't matter. Fifth priority, and there we're focused on primary health care and preventive health care. So those are the what's we'll do for the Liberian people. How are we going to do these things? The first how is we want to engage Liberians differently in the transformation of our country. We call this hearts and minds. How do we get all Liberians to participate in the changes that are required? We're going to use arts and music and reconciliation and religion. All of these things, we will be deliberate in using these things to engage us as people in this transformation. Doing some work on how we can make those things happen. The next how is that we're going to find the money. We have to find the resources, the money, to do all of the what's our. And the way we'll find the money is first we'll go after waste in government. You know, we spend a lot of money on things that we don't need, too much for things that we do need. So for example, I believe the vehicles we buy for our government officials, we spend too much money on that. We should buy vehicles, and we should buy less expensive vehicles for our government officials. We need to reduce how much they make so we can pay teachers and civil servants and police officers and the military officers and healthcare workers, people who actually do the work. We need to pay them more money and reduce the gap between those at the top and those who actually do the work. The other way we'll find the money is going after this thing called corruption. You know, corruption has been the bane of our country, is the reason why we are developed as we are today. And we will aggressively go after corruption. The first thing we'll do is we will appoint a charge of corruption in the presidency that will coordinate all of the agencies that are meant to find corrupt officials. What we'll do is we'll make sure we are giving the resources, the money, the right people, the right logistics to the anti-corruption agencies, the LACC, Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission, the General Accounting Office, the Public Procurement and Concessions Commission. We will make sure they got the right resources to go after corrupt officials. After that, when we find people who are corrupt, we will prosecute them, we will put them in jail, and we'll seize their assets. It will not be good enough for you just to resign. Okay. So those are the things we'll do to really go after corruption. I have committed that I will not take a salary. The salary that is paid the president, I will allocate it towards helping to fight corruption. That's how important I think it is to us. And then the other way we'll find the money is we'll make sure we're getting full value, the full monies we're due from our natural resources. We'll look at other natural resources so we can get the funds required to fund health care, to create jobs, etc., etc. So money is the second how. The next how is we want to create a government of inclusion. We want all sections of our country to be represented in the government. We want opposition political parties to be in government. We believe that having a government inclusion will help all of us make the right decisions. It will make sure that we're spreading the resources of our country across the entire country. And then the last two hows, one is growing the private. We will focus on growing the private sector so Liberians can primarily benefit from that growth. No longer should Liberian business people be spectators to our economy. And we want to actively support Liberianization and encourage and provide credit and other facilities to Liberian businesses so they can participate. And last but not least, we will use technology. We'll leverage technology to help us achieve our goals. So those are the what's and the how's. But let me end by leaving you again with these two universal truths. One is we cannot keep doing the same things, my people, and expect different results. We cannot keep electing the same people with the same experiences and expect Liberia to change. we need to elect and select different people to lead us, to serve us, to help us manage and run our country. And the other universal truth is the best predictor of future performance and future behavior is past performance and past behavior. And on those two counts, I believe I stand head and shoulders above the other candidates expiring. Together, we will change Liberia for the benefit of all Liberians. We will transform our country. We will give us a new start, a fresh start, so that all of us can benefit from this country we love. I thank you. God bless you. God bless the Republic of Liberia.
Chicken they grow for day.
My fellow Liberians, despite our diversity, we are a united people, a great and noble people. Through the strength of our unity and the resilience of our determination, we have begun to rebuild a ravished country and have survived two deadly health crises. Our people have stood together as one united people, ready to face the future. Whether you are a fisherman of Grand Cru and Sino, the hunters of Grand Jide and River G, the farmers of Lofa and Bapolu, the Gola and Vai dancers of Bumi and Cape Mount, the hospitable people of Bassa and River Cess, the warriors of Maryland, the miners and explorers of Nimba, the merchants and traders of Bong, the welcoming people of Magibi, or the melting pot of Montserrado. We are one people, Liberians. We have a great challenge and opportunity ahead of us. In unity, we will rebuild this country as a shining example in Africa, demonstrating the power of a determined and united people. Our economy and our national budget will expand and grow like never before. We will improve the lives of our people and put smiles on the faces of our citizens. I promise you that together we can and will do the job. A new day is on the horizon. The time for babysitting is over. God bless you and God bless Liberia.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for tuning in. And I'm sorry that and they came. And without that, we'll still have a good show today. And I want to say thank you again for you can follow me live on right now. I'm on YouTube. You can follow me on Twitter if you are a friend with me on Twitter. You can follow me on Facebook. I'm on it now. So I'm also on Voice Matter and other people watching. So share this video. Thank you very much. And be joined later on by Afro Vacans and Lanfa, who will be joining me from all the way in Great Britain, and we'll have a good discussion. So my name is Munel Kishan again, aka the General. I am here. I'm state of church, but Liberia is what matters. We are doing everything to make sure that our country, Liberia, is back on its feet. And I know we've been listening to the situation back home. And I want to say this to my viewers, to my followers. I got a message yesterday from Focus on Liberia. I never knew that I was supposed to show up on Focus on Liberia, but I got the text very late and I saw it last night on my way home around 11, I think 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock. I was on my way home, but then I called Anthony see it and I spoke with him. But I want to say thanks, Anthony, because other people will not understand. And when he looked at it, he said, oh yes, I see it. Because they said that the recipient, the person who you send the text to, never read the text, never opened it. So I never saw it, but I just saw this thing popping up, and which I appreciate it. I do not. So I don't want people to think that, oh, Munel was invited and he never show up. No, 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 no. I'm not. I can show up anywhere, anytime if I'm available. But the first time I was supposed to appear, and then later on, but Dolokia did a very good job as usual. He's always on top of things, and I want to say thanks. So I never refused the offer. You know me, I would love to get on kind of show to discuss. My responsibility is to sell Mr. Cummings. I'm not there to debate certain issues, speak for the candidate on how they will answer question, because I could answer yes or no, and my candidate can answer yes in a different form. So, but the discussion could have been a very fruitful one there. But I owe them one. I say anytime he read it, I was there before with Jar, but we're ready to prepare. We'll prepare ourselves any day to go anywhere, anytime. It's just to speak the truth, which some people don't stand it. So we'll be having a good show today. We'll talk about the president of Liberia, talk about Alex Cummings, we'll talk about other politicians, and we'll talk only on national issues. It's nothing personal. And I always say this, that whether you like it or not, Alex Cummings is the right person for the job. Cummings is the right person for the job. Yes, I'm watching on YouTube. So don't forget, you can follow me on YouTube and watch this show. You can share the video. Please share the video with other people. And I'm just waiting for Siliki to get in studio. He just got there, but there was somebody stay in studio time. So another person is in studio. I've been out. Listen, that's not our radio station. Please, it's not our radio station. So ANC will be having a convention in October 16 to October 14 to the 16th. Okay, October 14 to the 16th. They will be having a convention in Maryland. So you are welcome to attend. If you are a friend or follower of Alex Cummings and you want to see a better leadership in Liberia, it's also a fundraiser. We want you to show up. We want you to be a part of it. And don't sit there. Do something. One way or the other, your participation is what matters. Whether you can come and speak with him is better. So your appearance, your is better than even the money that you're going to give. But we want every Liberian situation that's going Liberia. Don't sit on the fence. If you don't sit on the fence, you will get the wrong people doing the job. If you don't sit on the fence, you will get the best. But if you sit on the fence, you will get the wrong people into a position that you would not like. So, all being said, please be a part of that program, October 14th to the 16th. And to all my followers, I want to say thank you very much. Those of you who sent me messages on Messenger, some people don't like to show themselves, and I respect that. And when you tell me, Munel, please, I don't want to be exposed, I respect that. I will not do it. I told you guys 3 days ago that I received a call from Liberia, and the call came from somebody who knew me, who I know very well, but I've not spoken to them in a long time. And they watched my last show. You remember the show that was in the dark? And to my surprise, President Weah saw it. And while they were talking, people who don't were thinking about how to go after me. There's another guy who I will not call his name. He's damn, this guy is a white guy, he's an American guy or what? But they didn't know I'm a damn Liberian. So Joey, I look at him and he said, Neighbor, he's my man, I don't know what I did to the guy. So they wanted to come after. No, you're leaving, you'll leave the man, you'll leave the man. Let me tell you something about George Weah. You don't know him. President Weah is not a bad guy, but he's quick to be carried away. He's quick to be convinced by people who, when they get closer to him and they give him all the power, he close to you. That's the problem with President Weah. If you close to President Weah and you give him the authority, the attention whatsoever, oh, then you'll be the best of body. But for some of us who think for ourselves, who don't go around people because we want something from you, it's hard. It's hard. I'm not a singer. I'm not a praise singer. No way. I'm not yet to sing with Mr. Cummings. Listen, it's not a hating thing. I took a ride with Mr. Cummings up to 50 minutes to drive and 50 minutes to get back. And I was driving. My mom never went on vacation. My mom never spent time. And I showed Mr. Cummings within his he said, damn, it looked like I got in the wrong car. But I asked questions, I spoke, I talked. But he enjoyed the conversation. He enjoyed it. And most of the big guys don't have the opportunity for people to talk to them easily when they're in the place. People don't ask Mr. Cummings questions. That is our problem with most of our Liberian people. We don't like to ask questions to our big boys, thinking that they will push us away. No, they will not. And to all the guys who supported Mr. Cummings, I want to say thank you very much. I just want to say thank you. I'm not thanking you on behalf of Mr. Cummings. I'm thanking you because of Liberia. It's not because of Mr. Cummings I'm telling you thank you. But one thing we should understand too, we are not there to attack each other. I'm not there to attack another ANC man or primary reason. We need everybody on board. I would not. Somebody look at the record. That coffee or any damn coffee. So I would not attack anyone. And you insulted Mr. Cummings yesterday, and you say you're going to support Mr. Cummings today. God never make any stupid human being. Wise man changes. And it's easy for a good man who is wise to change if he's making a mistake. I would say this to Randy. Randy, people call me and say, oh, the Randy got this. And I say, listen, I'm happy Randy is supporting Mr. Cummings. He's my friend. And I would love to see him on board. But we must be careful of what we say and who we hurt. That's all. He's giving a message, and it shouldn't be about us. What I'm saying is not about me. It should not be about me. I'm not here to tell you what I do. I'm not here to tell you the type of life that I'm living. I'm not here to tell you about my career. I'm not running for office. I'm not here to promote myself. Just by putting my face on Facebook is promotion by itself. So I'm not here to tell you that, oh, you know, and this and that, I am the best. No, I am not better than anyone who's supporting Mr. Cummings. I am not a good messenger than anybody who is supporting Mr. Cummings. I gave the message in the way that I want other people to understand it. And maybe you will give it the way you feel like. But no talk show host who Mr. Cummings should take the glory and think is because of you, Mr. Cummings is doing XYZ. Because if you say because of you, that is why people know Mr. Cummings, that means Mr. Cummings and the group is not doing anything. If I say because of me, people knowing Mr. Cummings, that means he himself is not doing nothing. But it's a teamwork. I can come here and explain to you on a particular topic. Maybe you will understand me better. Another man can come and explain that same topic. Maybe he might explain it in a better way, the way you think that you can understand. That is why I continue to tell people, what is yours, it's yours. Nobody can take it from you. Your talent is your talent. The way you talk to people, the way you relate to people, it's your talent. Sometimes people look at me and they say I'm hard to deal with, but some people say, oh, Mune is the sweetest man you ever meet. You know what I'm saying? But my commitment to Mr. Cummings, your commitment is not better than mine. Mine is not better than yours. I'm not smarter than you. You're not smarter than me. But my commitment to Mr. Cummings, I'm the only one know my commitment. That is why I'm free and proud to say that my commitment is 100%, and I will support Mr. Cummings and win with Mr. Cummings, or I will lose with Mr. And I'm happy that I will win with him, and I will be happy to lose with him. To be a good winner, you must be a good loser. So, if I lose Mr. Cummings, will that affect my life? Ask yourself the question. If I win with Mr. Cummings, will that affect my life? Because you can win with somebody and still your life be affected. You understand? So, what I'm doing is not about me. Maybe I might not be around for 2023. Maybe I might not be around for the Cummings administration. So what I'm doing is for somebody else that would say, yes, there was a guy they called Munel. He called himself the general, one mulatto man. He used to do this. He used to try his best. He will promote Mr. Cummings. Yes. That tomorrow you will see my kids, you will see one of my nephews, and they say, oh, I know your uncle, I know your father. That is what we do things for. That is why. Liberia is the only country that we got. It was not a mistake that we were born there. It's one of the sweetest country in the world. Don't look at my gray beard and think I got plenty of ages around me and all this. Yes, I'm over 50 years old. I'm between that age. But the fact of the matter, I'm happy for where I am right now. But I would love to see Liberia. That we all retire one day, go back home, and enjoy ourselves. You might call me Pape, you can call me stupid, you can call me any name that you want. It won't move me. Nobody pay this internet bill. Nobody pay my bills. Nobody feed me. Cummings don't feed me. George Weah don't feed me. If they are bad leaders, call it out. That is why we're telling you, we cannot re-elect President Weah. President Weah have made history. He is the 5th president of Liberia. You don't need to regret it. You don't need to blame yourself because you voted for him, because you saw something in President Weah. You believe that he was going to make the change. And of change. But change don't just come overnight. You must start the process. You can. When Moses started the journey to take the children to, it was thing. When Aaron and whatsoever before Joshua entered it. So you should understand that's a hard road. President Weah, there is no more change in President Weah. Look, you think, oh, God bless. Yes, God bless President Weah. God gave every man a blessing. You can be the wickedest man on earth. God gave you a blessing, everything. So what blessing God got for me, he will give it to me. But he will punish me for my wrongdoing. You understand? So it means that President Weah is the only blessed man. President Weah continued to lie to the Liberian people. That is one of the problems we have with President Weah. President Weah continued to pretend and make the Liberian people look like fool. That is why That is one of the problems we have with President Weah. President Weah making it look as if he was born 1985, that everything that is happening in Liberia today is the first time. And other people follow. Other people listen because he's the president. And to Liberians who live in America, it's a shame. If you cannot speak for your country, you live in America and trying to be a cheering squad for somebody who continue to steal the country money, and you telling us that is not true. President Weah play football and make millions of dollars. Millions of dollars. He never get back to the country. But we lie on everything President Weah get is never documented. Nobody can tell you I challenge Zoga Wilson today to show or document where President Weah pay money for Lone Star free of charge. It was the same Zoga Wilson who wrote one time that President Weah was lying at the time he was George Weah. But today, he will never tell you because he enjoying the gravy. And we still going around. President, look, Liberian people love football at the time. George Weah was the only thing that we could all rejoice to because he was playing soccer. But we voted for George Weah out of no reason. We voted for George Weah because we don't know why. We don't know why we voted for him. But we thought that he was going to use that ideas. It's not about the education. The Constitution never called for education. But we voted for George Weah. And today, look at the country. This is the first time in the history of Liberia that we see corruption. Broad day to see how corruption look like. And we rejoice and raise the people up who steal from us. President Weah is a bad leader. He's a terrible leader if you don't know. Even the rules they talk about, it's not true. Why we should do this to our country? Why we should allow we love other people more than ourselves? Why we should fall in love with a politician more than us? Why you should be afraid to talk to your leaders, to tell them the truth? You can. To the journalists who continue to go around and give false information, you don't even have the opportunity to speak to your president, to ask him questions, to ask him the necessary question because the citizens don't have the opportunity to do that. The president came from the United Nations and told the Liberian people, don't listen to the people in the street, they can lie. Who are the people in the street? They are your, who are the people that you're talking about in the street? They are citizens of Liberia. They are the ordinary, the commoners in Liberia. But the line that is right in Liberia, the people line. So that means the president taking side with the business people, with the Lebanese. Our people are suffering. The president told us that there's free education in Liberia. Which one? Tuition free at the University of Liberia or free education? The president said there's free education in Liberia. The president said for the first time, Liberian passing WAEC. Who took the WAEC test? President Weah? The government pay the school fees. The government of Liberia pay the school fees. President Weah took the test. No. President Weah didn't take tests of nobody. But if you say Liberia the first time to pass WAEC, then where was President Weah? Was President Weah born 1985? No, he was never born 1985. But President Weah pretend as if he is the best president. How do you determine a best president? Until you leave office. That is when they grade you. We have free education. Where? He spent $21 million on the Zogos to rehabilitate them. Where? This president continued to lie to us. We cannot give him second term. We cannot give President Weah second term. If you do that, you will be committing a political suicide. That means you're ready to die in the street. Supporting Alex Cummings. And I will be happy and proud to win with him. And I will be happy to lose up with him. Because I love my country, Liberia. And I sure you do. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me bring up my guest. Let me bring my friend on who will take it from there. And what's up, my man?
It's cool.
You can
And
hear
you?
me?
Yes, I hear you
Okay,
well.
good. Been a long time, my man. I take it from the children. The children
Yeah,
in the
I
back
know, but
stabbing you.
it's a duty,
Yeah,
and we have to obey when duty calls. So I'm happy to be here.
that's good. That's good.
Yeah,
And how's the show been going, my man? You're doing some hard work too. It's not an easy thing.
yeah. The show is being going
How
fine.
is the
The show has been fine. We've been having a couple of guests and sometimes no guests, and so we just flow by ourselves and we do the discussion. And the good thing is that we're a partner on the show, So if we do not have guests, we can still go around, among our partners, and then we'll have our panel discussion. So we've been doing fine.
okay? That's good. And we're not on radio right now. We'll be on there anytime because Liberia is scheduled. We're supposed to be
Yeah,
on by this time, but by the time the ball got there, somebody stay in studio and they ain't even leave yet. So I'm just waiting for him to call us, then we can go. But let me say this, let's start the conversation here. And Lamford,
yeah.
you listen to President Weah in New York other day speaking to seditionists, and he was giving information. You listen to that to his speech with the seditionists, with his people.
Yeah, I listened to part of it. I listened to part of it, and I
Okay.
think
The president said that he said we got free education in Liberia. So give me your thoughts on what you took from the president's speech. Was it truth or he was just trying to satisfy his base?
well, it's a lot of things about the president. When the president speaks to seditionists, he speaks to satisfy them, to make them happy, and to make them to want to belong to CDC. And this goes the other way around. The seditionists always say that President Weah is their president, and they put themselves in a category that they are different type of Liberians. They belong only to the CDC, and so President Weah is their president. He's not president for the rest of Liberians. And so when the president too, meets his seditionists and he wants to talk to them, he talks to them as his followers, as people that belong to what can I say, to his kingdom. So he doesn't address them like he's speaking to ordinary people. He will talk to them in a way that they want to understand or hear, and he will tell them things that they want to hear. So his speech to them was kind of in a framework of, or in a context of how they understand themselves to be, that this is our president, and the president also believes that, yeah, these are my followers. So that this is how he spoke to them.
Okay. And another thing, Lamford, I know Ellis will always say Ellis Cummings is a new guy because Ellis Cummings was not around after 2017. He was not there before 2020. Who were you supporting before that time? What was your party affiliation?
Oh, you see, to be frank, um, in my half decade age, I have voted one time. That was 1997. So politically, I have not been active all of my life, and that was due to a few reasons. Um, the only reason why I voted in 1997 was because we just came from war, and we had to go back to civilian rule, and then we had to elect a president. So that was my first time to vote. But I was not a member of any party, and even as we speak, I do not belong to any party. I'm not a member of the ANC or registered member, but I am 100% supporter of Mr. Alexander Cummings and his ideologies. Okay,
Okay, although
and
they,
the reason
although they
is
said that, yeah,
yeah, and the reason
although
is
they said
because
that voting,
uh, yeah,
yeah,
go ahead.
they said voting is secret ballot. Voting is secret. So, but tell me, you can still tell me who you voted for 1997.
Oh, now it's time I voted for Mr. Taylor.
Okay, because you believe that maybe after voting there will be change in Liberia.
Yeah, yes,
So
I
you voted
voted.
out of fear. You voted out of fear too.
I didn't vote out of fear. As a matter of fact, I started working as a journalist 2 years before the war came. And when the war came, I was at ELBC that morning because I used to live very close to ELBC. I didn't work directly in the building with ELBC. We had this American project, the Liberia Rural Communications Network, LRCN, but we were part of the LBS though. And then I used to live very close to that place on to the AB Tower Road. I used to live, and I had gone to work that morning since I was the last man, so to speak, in my department. So I had a whole office key. So I was always the first to go to work. Then my other bosses would come, me and the security. So I had gone to work that morning, morning, July 2. And then I was there. And when the war hit, I ran back to my house, and the guys eventually overran our area, the area I was living, AB Tower Road area, there, the graveyard. And so we kind of found ourselves behind rebel line. And this is how I ended up in Kakata early July. Very long story, passed through thick and thorns. And then, while we were there, we sometimes in August, September, the late Joe Moriba and a few other journalists, because the whole place was packed with journalists. All the people that ran away from Memorial, half of them were in Pikena, and some of them were in Pikena, and half of them were in Kakata, and the rest were in Banga. So we decided that we were going to set up a little press bureau on Bida campus, and this is how we set it up. And we're operating from there, And then at the end of 1990, we all decided to scatter, So I went to Banga, since my home is very close to Banga. I went to my village, and I decided to come back again January. That was in 1991. I came to Banga, and then we were just around the radio station there. It was functional, but I was not working. And then until April 1991, we decided, Max Willie and a few other guys, we decided to set up the FM station in Habel. And this is how we went now to Habel to work. And so the point I'm trying to make is that I worked throughout the war as a journalist, and I followed Mr. Taylor's activities closely. And a lot of people will say anything they want to say. People will talk a lot of things, which I can't debunk, because I was not everywhere at the same time. There was a lot of bad things that happened during the war, and some good other things happened as well. But I worked for Kiss FM. It was not Kiss FM at the time. It was 89.9 FM, as we used to call it in Habel. Habel fell in 1993. We moved to Toyota. I moved to Toyota. The rest of the guys were in Banga. We're in Toyota. We set up again the Radio Liberia International, and we're operating until 1995, 96. Then the interim government came, and then we came back to Monrovia, and the Kiss FM opened. So I was always around the MPFL, so to speak. And then I voted Mr. Taylor, actually, because despite the war, despite people dying in the war, despite all of the bad things that happened, I look at Mr. Taylor. Unlike, I was very critical of Mr. Taylor when the war was coming. Okay, I'm one person. I don't have many friends. The reason I don't have many friends is that I don't agree with people very easily. I'm always the one to be critical of every event. So I was very critical. One of those that was very critical of Mr. Taylor when the war was coming. But the first time I laid out on Mr. Taylor was from BWR, from our press bureau. We heard Taylor was going to Coca-Cola factory. That was 1990. Was stay hard, okay. And we all jumped on it. I remember we jumped on a big truck and we went to Coca-Cola factory. That was the first time I ever laid out on Mr. Taylor. That was the very first time, just casually. And then I was all the time we're in Kakata, man. I was very skeptical until 91, when we started actually working at the radio station. Mr. Taylor used to come and spend some time with us at the radio station, and he sits and talks with us the same way Mr. Cummings does. He sits and talks with us. We ask him questions, we talk to him. And then I got to know, is this the man that brought this war? Taylor had two different sides. People may not know. This guy, he will talk to you one-on-one, and you will be like, this is the best person. Okay, and then again, you'll hear other things. And it was all because of the war. If Taylor had not brought war, I don't think people were going to see some bad sides of him. But he was, generally, as human being, as Charles Taylor, he was the one that I knew, that I talked to. He was a normal person, like Monique Kishen, that I can sit and talk to. He was, but again, policies may different from situation to situation, and things happen. during the war. So I can't speak for him. I can't defend him, but I know him. I talked to him. I knew him. Not once, twice. I sat with him and talked. Nobody pointed to me and said, "This is Chancellor Gumi." No, I sat with this man. I talked to him many years, from 1991 all the way to 1999 before I left Liberia. Okay, so I knew him individually. I knew him one-on-one. Okay, my experience with him, I can write a whole book on that. But
Okay, Lemford, and
yeah,
people will ask you, you voted for only Charles Taylor, which is truth. My brother was a Charles Taylor supporter, but I voted against Charles Taylor. I have my reason. But my brother a strong supporter of NPP. Today he stayed. He with the CDC, but we get political differences. Well, incomings. You got all the guys. You got your wife, ex-wife, vice president for George Weah. That maybe at least the NPP going with the CDC. Or maybe Lemford been around. He saw Ellen Johnson and he saw Joseph Boakai, Bernard Ure. That you might be close. What you saw in Alex, because you are firing up for Alex Cummings. Like for me, people think they pay us. I want to hear from you. Tell me the difference. Who is this Alex Cummings man? Maybe it's coming from my mouth alone. Let the people hear it from you. Tell me.
Let me tell you. I think I started this conversation by telling you that I don't have many friends. And the reason I don't have many friends is not because I'm not capable of making many friends. No, listen, I'm this mayor of the party. If you have your party, I get there right away. Limfo is here. Everybody will know. People who knew me from my childhood time, I'm still the same. I've never changed. And there's a reason why God say, after 50, man, going to almost 60, I still look like one of the 20, 25-year-old boys around, man. So
That's
I'm the
true.
mayor of the party. I made a lot of friends, but I don't keep a lot of friends because they don't agree with what I do. I'm the mayor who looks at things the way it should be. And let me just tell you one thing. You see, the support that I gave to Mr. Cummings, it has cost me my family. I will tell you this. Okay, my family. Taiwan Gonglo that you see running today, Taiwan is my nephew, traditional nephew. His mother comes from my town, a town that was established by my great-great-grandfather. So we own that town. Okay, everybody there, we are family. Taiwan's mother comes from my town. Taiwan was, I can say, born in my town, and he grew up there. And one of the people in my life who are role models is Taiwan. Okay? When Taiwan was at the University of Liberia, he literally stayed all his days at our house in Monrovia because it was closer to the University of Liberia. When he was in school, he used to come every break. He come to our house, we sit and talk. He and my brother, my late brother. Okay. Now, Taiwan, if anybody wants to vote for Taiwan, it should be me. Okay. But one or two reasons. Taiwan came in late in the race when I had already chosen your side. And I'm one person that when I make a choice, yes, it's difficult for me. This is why I don't make choice easily. And again, it goes back to saying that my friends do not stay with me for the choices or for the decisions that I make. Okay. So you asked me about what I say about Mr. Cummings. And let me tell you, in 2017, okay, 2017, prior to 2017, 2005, 2011, I was not interested in Liberian politics, none whatsoever. But 2017, something just caught my eye. I said, well, let me go into politics, Liberian politics again. And so the person that I was roosting for, the person I was supporting in 2017 was who? Joseph Numa Boakai. And again, let me put this one on record. Taiwan is in now. But if it was only Cummings and JMB and George Weah, if you move coming from the race and going back to JMB. But now as it stands, if you move Cummings from the race, I'm going to Taiwan. If you move Taiwan from the race, I'm going to JMB. So that's my order of dissension or order of ascension. So, but let me make this clear. My support for Cummings, I don't know Cummings from nowhere. Besides seeing him recently in Germany, the first time I saw him was on a Zoom meeting. Okay. But again, I'm very critical. After 2017 elections, I asked myself, all of the politicians that were in a race during 2017, what happened to them? They all, after election, they all disintegrated. They went into thin air. We couldn't find them anymore. Okay. But there was this newcomer who much was not heard about, but he still sustained the ground. He still felt that he should make effort. So I said, okay, let's consider that all of these politicians that were in the race after election, they all disintegrated, they're gone. We don't know what they are whereabouts. They are not here. But I can see George, we are still here as president. I can see Joseph Boaka stay here as one of the contestants in the past election. And I can see Cummings. But the three of them, I weighed them. I said, okay, I think I must go for Cummings. Okay, because I studied the platform on which Mr. Cummings is running. So it convinced me. And and you know this this saying that people go around you will not believe it. Let me tell you this, and you will not believe it. A close person, very close to me. I mean, you cannot separate off a razor blade. This person came once into my inbox. Oh, Linford, that all you're chasing money. The person didn't say how. And this, I would not believe that this person could do this. So I said, but hi. Then I said, hi. How am I chasing money now? And the person did not reply. And this came right after the Germany trip. Can you imagine that I left from here with my 3 under 5 years old kids, 3 kids under 5 years old. I packed them on the car, drove 23 hours from Norway to Germany just to attend that program. And all the time we're in Germany attending that program, we were sleeping in different hotels every day because of the time, summer, and the bookings were very bad. So we had to book from here, there, drive 2 hours to another hotel, sleep and come back. And all these things, I risked my children's life. I spent more than almost 1,000 plus just on gasoline alone, then food, hotel, all these things. Then at the program, we had to make contributions from my own pocket, and somebody will come and tell me that Alexander Cummings is paying me money. So if Cummings will pay me money, then I go take it and carry it to I don't understand. So most of these things that people talk, they talk it simply because they have nothing to say. And so for me, it doesn't bother me. What bothers me is if I don't do the right thing that my conscience tells me to do. Because I live by my conscience. In any case, the best judge that I have in my life, the person that can judge me well, besides God, is my conscience. Because even if I go in the bush and hide myself and commit crime, my conscience will always tell me what you did was wrong. And so if I do not obey my conscience, then I am violating the law of conservation.
Okay, so what are some of the good things that you think Cummings is going to carry on when he's president?
Well,
And because you saw all these guys, so tell me some of the good things that you see that you admire about him. Because I know you're not in love with Cummings, but you admire him. I tell people never fall in love with politicians. You can admire them, you can like them, because tomorrow I will be the same one coming back to criticize you if you don't do the right thing. So tell me some of the good things that you see into Cummings that you say yes, he will be a good president. Because the Liberian people are going to hold you to accountable for that.
Yeah, and I stand to be held accountable tomorrow. And if Mr. Cummings will disappoint every one of us, then I also bear the responsibility tomorrow to come back and apologize to Liberians, to my family, to my acquaintances for supporting somebody who would disappoint them. But again, nobody can read anybody's mind. What you tell us is what we believe. What you show us is what we see. We don't see the inside of you. It's God that sees the inside of every one of us. So some of the things that I see about Mr. Cummings, you know, from the time I left Africa and came to Europe, I have learned a lot of things, a lot of new things. And change comes from what we learn and what we want to do. In Liberia, you will eat the corn, you throw it there on the ground. You will eat a plum, you throw the seed on the ground. You will drink the cold water, you throw the plastic there on the ground. It's not bad. It's accepted in the society. And this is why Monrovia is filthy. When I got to Europe, one of the first things I learned, or the first thing I saw was that the place was clean. The whole street clean. So I asked myself, but how did the people, they get made there yet? Then I got to know that you don't just litter. You don't just throw dirt around. So I learned that one. It's part of me. That's a change in my life. Another change, I saw so many changes that I've seen. Okay, that I'm not supposed to intrude on people's privacy. I'm not supposed to fight women. I'm not supposed to beat my wife. I'm not supposed to beat my children. All these things we are learning. But the application is what matters. And I see Mr. Cummings as a mayor change. Mr. Cummings comes to Liberia and he says, look, we do not have to continue doing the same things over and over, especially in government, where we go in government with the mind to get rich, with the mind to steal and let the people suffer. So then, what more good thing do we want? Don't we want you and I, plus every other Liberian, don't we want the best for our country? Don't we want to see that our people will live good life, that people will not go and steal from the resources of the country and get richer than the ordinary people, than the majority of the people who vote for them? So that's one of the good things I say about Mr. Cummings. Because I live in a country that was once poor. The history of Norway, if they tell you the history of Norway, you will not believe it. This country was once poor. This country, if you go to Minnesota, Salt Lake City, Utah, Washington State, all the countries in North America, into the northern part of Canada border, half of them are Norwegians, the citizens there. Because why? When they left from here, there were two things that happened here. The country was poor, then they had a sickness called the Black Death. So most of the people left from there. When they went to America, they settled in Naku area. Now, but luckily for them, they were able to discover oil in the middle of the 60s, early 70s, and now this country is one of the richest countries on planet Earth. Okay, now these people, they plan everything well. Their life is planned to the point where this is the only country on Earth where they got the seeds of everything human being can eat, or the root, whatever can grow. They're keeping it somewhere for the next 1,000 years, according to them, so that if there will be farming in the world, they'll be able to supply the rest of the world. So why can we do this? So these are some of the things that I've learned, that if you manage your resources properly, your people will not suffer. In this country, it's a welfare country. If I don't want to work today, I can sit down, I'll still get money from government. If I work, I got a lot of advantages. So these are things that Mr. Cummings is talking about, that the Liberian people will be employed. Liberian people will have jobs. You and I will not be working and be sending money back. And just to crack your little joke, I used to work in a hotel a long time ago. And every time I'll ask my boss lady, and at the time, Western Union, if I Western Union, not even online, so you couldn't send money online. And in the entire country, we have Western Union one place in the city. So I live 3 hours away from the city. I will ask my boss lady, can I go to the city after work? And let me finish early. Let me go to the city after work. She said, why you always go to the city? I said, I can go send money to my people. She said, oh, so your people working for you? You get people working for you? I said, no. My mom, my brothers, my sisters. She said, but why you send them the money that you're working for? Why you take it and send it to them? I said, and then my boy lady, her 2 children, her daughter and her son were working with the same company where I'm working. I said, you talking, your children working here, they're getting their own money, but my people don't work. I'm the only person working. So you see, the point I'm making here is that if our country, if everybody's working, not even everybody cannot work though, but if all the children that go to school, if they come from school and they work and they got money, you and I will save ourselves the embarrassment of taking the money, the little money that we work for, and send it back to them. So that's some of the things that Mr. Cummings is saying that I think makes sense. Instead of, people who say, oh, we'll build road, or yes, you build road. How many people in Liberia got car to drive on the road?
Yep.
Eh? How many people can afford to buy a car to drive on the road? Let me tell you, my home is that far from Banga. Okay, if you go to Banga, if you go to Uganda from Banga, you reach a place called Palala, you take a road, you go to Zorinda. From Zorinda, you go to my home. We got car road, we got 2 car roads entering my home. But you know what happened to that car road? It become bush because nobody in the town get car. So what was the use of building a car road when people in the town do not have car? So on a car road, you only see the human track in the middle of the car road, and the whole thing is bush. Can you see? Can you imagine? So roads are our priority, I agree. But let the people be working. Let the people have the economy working. Let the people have the means to buy cars. Let the people have the means to even, sustain themselves before you build road. Okay? So these are some of the things that Mr. Cummings is talking about. First, look at right now, Liberia, if you call anybody, the phone will drop 10 to 15 times because of the internet. Okay, in 5 minutes conversation, the phone will drop 10 to 15 times. No, the connectivity is bad. So we need that as one of the priorities. And Mr. Cummings is talking about our infrastructure, electricity, internet connectivity. Okay, in terms of education, if you can have all the Google things, if the people are not educated, it's zero. Healthcare in this country, I don't worry to get sick because, as a matter of fact, in 1 year time, to two major operations. Can you imagine? Just in 1 year time, within a exact space of 1 year time, August 8, 2020 and August 10, 2021. Okay, and I took a major operation. I came from there walking, coming home. I asked the doctor, "Can I stay 2 days?" He said, "No, go home. I want to go." And I couldn't believe it. So can you imagine? And this is a problem. If I had in Liberia, I may not have survived. So we need good healthcare, as Mr. Cummings is talking. So the infant mortality will reduce. Women who die at childbirth will reduce. Or the number of sicknesses that the hospital reject in Liberia will be reduced. And I know Liberia can do it. And again, let me bring in a Norway factor. Liberia and Norway got almost the same amount of population. We have about 5 million people in this country. In this very rich country, we have about 5 million people. If you move with a foreigner from here, they will come to around 3 or 2 million people. Okay? And tell me, Liberia, everything we eat in the country money, we import it. I say everything besides potato and what do you mean? Fish. And even the I call it what the fish mean? The dry fish, what can eat, man, crawfish, I call it that dry fish I'm gonna eat like they make it here. But here we don't eat it.
Which one, Naple or which one?
No, they fill with our head, man. They dry long fish with our head. Dry, very dry. They always is that called fish? They made it call it off from it. We make it here.
How do you call the fish that? Oh man.
Yeah. Okay. We produce it here, but we don't eat it. Okay? So
Boonie? Are they boonie?
Huh?
Boonie?
No, not boonie. No man, boonie that delicacy here for foreigners. Hey man, you know the feed, man. The feed now get here in Africa, it's long, it's dry, long. How do you call it, man?
The salmon?
Not salmon here. It's plenty here. That here will make it.
Stockfish?
Stockfish.
Stockfish.
Yeah, this stockfish, we make it here. But you know what they post it? Because they use it to get the quality offering inside, so that it's dry one. So they say no vitamins inside.
Yes, that's stockfish.
They can export it. But besides that, everything we eat here, we import it. To the point where they bring the green banana from South America. When you peel in it, they tell you one thing, you hear the sound, and then I regret that we got bananas in Liberia. Okay, we got plantains in Liberia. No, let me tell you one thing. Our country, we all know everything we got. That's why I've always said, every time I go Africa, I was in Africa last 2016. And I was not eating much rice and all that thing. I was eating small thing, and they put, "Why you let her eat rice?" In my mind, I said, people don't know. Because if I can buy a piece of cucumber from here for $5 and free almost in Liberia, why I can't eat it? You see it? So, if we properly manage what we have, my friend, Liberians, you will not be short of anything you call rice. No, my wife is from the Philippines. I go to the Philippines every year at least 2 times. And we went to this particular area. We were just going on expedition.
Wait. You say your wife from the Philippines?
Right. And
you've been in like grandpa, no get value.
Oh no, but no problem. And can you imagine, Philippines? That country is one of the countries that I see the people are strong. The people got dangerous weather. They got disastrous weather. They got typhoon that comes every year. Typhoon. And some people that they live in Jabaho, this year, if typhoon doesn't come, they expect it next year. Their whole home will be damaged. All their farms will be damaged, but they will come back 2 weeks after and they will start again. And these people, they grow rice. I remember we were going to this place, and when we passed this rice store, I saw in front of the store, I thought I same bags, but I rice that they cover with tarpaulin all over the place, because of the rain. And then I said, "But what is that?" They said, "I rice." And then I said, "Well, why?" They said, "Well, nobody wants to buy it. Almost everybody making fun." Can you imagine? And this is rice that we're suffering from in Liberia. Rice that you can get everywhere. You go in the market, you see a variety of rice. Even the rare rice that we got in Liberia, so that rare rice, I saw it. They got it everywhere. Okay? And these are people who suffer all the severe weather every year. Liberia, how many times do we have typhoon? How many times do we have tornadoes? Nothing. We do not. Okay? But because we are not prioritized, we have not made these things our priority, that we'll be sitting down today and be suffering from rice. People can import rice before we eat. I think something is wrong somewhere with us Liberians.
Okay, let's say that this guy, the Lieutenant Magay, Lieutenant Magay running for president and for what the thing is,
Senator.
he from Bopolu. Later on, he went to Banga, now Magibi. Let us be honest and call spade a spade. Corruption, 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 corruption. I said that if the people of Magibi vote for Magay, don't you think it's a political suicide or they are stupid to see this man, America, the number one country in the world, say this man, he's a criminal. This man is a criminal. Even the sedition said it. President William refused. And today, this guy is running for president. Tell me, do you think it's right for this guy, I'm sorry, senator, for them to vote him? You think it's necessary?
Well, constitutionally, somebody will argue and say that, yes, he's a Liberian. He has the right to want to run for office. But let's look beyond the constitutional right that Mr. Magay has. The greatest country on earth, America, has sanctioned you. And besides that, Liberia's ties to America is not something that anybody can sweep under the ground. Like we say in Liberia, America is not a small potato when it comes to Liberian activities. Every little thing that happens, we run to America. When we have crisis, we run to America. When we have good times, we run to America. When we are sick, we run to America. America says or tells you that, my friend, you are corrupt. You did so thing. We sanction you. Nobody should do business with you. Then you defy their order. And you want to prove that you are man. And then you begin to run all over the place and say you want to be senator. In the first place, Bonkante used to be his playground. He went there, and the news I'm getting, I don't know how true it is, that the people rejected him. That should tell him that you are on a sinking sand. Then he went to Margibi. So why can't he go to Bapolu, where he comes from? But again, maybe he's testing the water. He wants to know whether the sanctions by America is real. And so, but I would say he has his constitutional right to run, so let him run. But he should be prepared for the outcome, because you can run as senator. The people of Liberia, they're stupid. If you think they are stupid, they will vote for you. Fine. But if you win, how will you serve, or how will you go through your life as a senator? I will give you one short story, and this story goes back to Charles Taylor. There was this guy who used to work at the American Embassy as the press secretary. One guy called David Park. I still remember this guy's name very well.
Yeah.
And when Charles Taylor was not yet president, but he was the chairman for the interim government. Every time he speaks,
okay, 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute will soon be. Wait, we'll soon hold on 1 minute. Just
Okay.
1 minute.
Okay.
Siligi?
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah?
Hello?
Yeah, you can hear me? Hello?
Hello?
Yes, you can hear me, Siligi?
I hear you.
Okay, so which one you listening to? You listening to the monitor or you listening to this phone? Which one?
plug you on the radio. I come and put you on the radio.
Okay, and Vikings, can you hear him?
Yeah, I hear Siligi well.
Is it you?
Yeah, he can hear you.
Okay. Yeah. I'll come and put on the radio.
Okay, so Vikings will be going live on Radio Liberty 8.1. So, certain words, you know, you are a journalist, I'm not a journalist, so you know exactly what to do.
Right.
But this is all about promoting people why Mr. Cummings is the right person at this time.
You're welcome. This is
So, why Mrs. Also after
we are
11?
sorry that we came on to the 9 o'clock, but it is what it is. We are grateful to be here again on another edition of the program. This is the
You can hear him?
You're welcome. Keep
Very
going
well.
as we give you happiness today in our country. Our host today is Mr. Monique Kishen, as always, aka the General. We have a guest today. He's going to call the guest name to you. So keep following. Mr. General, you're live on the radio.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for the time. We sorry, we should have been on 8 o'clock. It's 9 o'clock, 4 minutes after 9 o'clock in Liberia, and it's 5 o'clock in the United States. And I got with me my host, my guest here today is Lamford. He got a show that he will introduce himself. And also thanks Siriki to my co-host in Liberia. This show is all about Alex Cummings. Is here to tell you, the Liberians, why Alex Cummings is the best amongst all the candidates. And I've said it all the time. I want you to look at his record. He is the only candidate after the 2017 election. He stayed around. He continued to go around the country. He continued to talk to us and come up with a solution. He said, this is what we can do as a nation. He got a platform. He got the agenda. He said, we can do it together. He never said I. He said, we can do it together. So I want you Liberians, listen to us after this. You can ask questions, but Alex Cummings is the right man for this job. He don't need to give you a penny. He don't need to put money in your hands before you vote. But this time around, come 2023, is the year that Liberians should make a better decision that will take Liberia forward. That our children from 19 to 35 years old, you are the one who's supposed to make that difference. So let me bring in my guest and he will introduce himself. Lamford, we are on the 88.1 on the Liberty Radio. Say something. Let's go, my brother.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Kishen, the General. My name is Linford Egon Goe. I'm a Liberian, and I'm a former journalist. I'm still a journalist, though. I used to work with Kiss FM Radio, and first I started from LRCN, and then the walking, and then we went through all over the place. So, but my last active job as a journalist was on Kiss FM Radio. And if any of you ever listened to the program Daily Feature, I used to produce that program early in the morning. And then I left. I came to Europe, and I've been here for the past 20 years. So, but I still practice as a journalist. And although I'm in a different profession right now. I'm in the maritime profession, and so I got two opportunities. So I'm happy to be here tonight.
Okay, Lamford, tell us what Alex Cummings can do different than George, that he would do different than George Weah, or he would do different than any candidate at this time. So tell the Liberian people what you think Alex Cummings, because you've been a journalist before and voted for NPP, and imagine you supporting Mr. Alex Cummings that you don't know, but you only read about him and you get to know the individual. But he's not your. But you believe that Liberians should vote for him come 2023. He's the best. Tell the Liberian people why you think he's the best.
Well, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to actually understand the platform of Mr. Cummings. Mr. Cummings have defined very clearly, in clear terms, his what's and how's. And being a journalist, especially investigative journalists, one of the things we look at, or the few things we look at how things happen, why it happened, when it happened, where it happened, and who did it. Okay. So if Mr. Comey is saying that he has things that he will do in the house, so that clearly defines his vision compared to somebody who will only come and say, well, I will build a road, I will bring the sky down, I will make you to live under the water, I will build houses for you in the sky, but they don't tell you how they will do it. So that alone defines his vision in clear terms to me, and I think that's a reason to want him to be president of the nation. And coupled with that, he has constantly advanced his platform in a uniformed way. All of the time I've been listening to Mr. Cummings talks, all of the talks that he talks, he will always say almost the same thing. And I had the opportunity for the very first time in July, to be precise, on the 9th of July this year. I met Mr. Cummings in Germany when Liberians in Europe worked on him. He came to Germany. We met, we talked on the 8th in the evening, casually, the meet and greet. Then the next day was the actual program, but we had a football game on the field. And I did not play the game. So I sat with Mr. Cummings on the bench, on the sideline, and we talked for over 30 minutes. I asked this man certain questions that he was answering, and some he would make me laugh. And he's, so then I got to know, because when I was asking him as a journalist in disguise. I was asking him like trying to hold him accountable in the future if he doesn't say or he doesn't do what he says. And so my questions were well tailored in a way that I was like preempting what I think he should do. And he answered those questions, which of course I'm not in a position to disclose because it was our private conversations. Okay. But like you rightly said, I don't know him in terms of relationship. But I believe in his policies. I believe in his political platform. And I believe in the change that he wants to bring. Like, unlike other people who have been promising change, but how will the changes that they promise come? They don't tell us. So I think there is where Mr. Cummings stands exclusively different from the rest of the people.
Okay, thank you very much. And Sidiki, you in Liberia there. Tell us what is going on today. What's trending? Which are the programs Mr. Cummings attended and what's going on? Sidiki, are you there?
Hello?
Yeah, are you there?
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me? Can you hear me, Sidiki? Okay, that's one of the problems we got. We lost him already. But anyway, it's no problem. We will still continue the conversation. Sidiki?
Hello?
Sidiki, can you hear me there?
Yeah, I'm hearing you loud and clear.
So you heard everything the guy was saying?
Yeah, I hear everything.
Yeah, but how you disappear? Okay, so tell me what is going on in Liberia right now. Which of the programs Mr. Cummings attended today and what is going on concerning the rice issue?
Mr. Cummings was in Buchanan today, Grand-Bassa County. I hear that the International Choir of Buchanan, Grand-Bassa, sent him an invitation and he went there. They departed from Monrovia yesterday. They slept in Buchanan. And today was a program. We all saw the program, a huge program today. And there's a press release that was released today by the CPP. So I'm going to read for you that statement. The statement was issued today, October 2, 2022. This is to inform the general public that the political leader or standard bearer of the collaborating political party, CPP, Mr. Alexander B. Cummings, with the initial members of the 2023 team double the Cummings and the real change team on Tuesday. That is a campaign team. You'll be naming the first campaign team on Tuesday October 4, 2022. The live event will be held at the CPP campaign headquarters, Liberty Party headquarters, on 19th Street at 11 a.m. Additional name will be announced later. The CPP standard bearer will also address the media on current national issues. All members of the press are invited. So on Tuesday at 11 o'clock at 19th Street, at the headquarters of the Liberty Party, Mr. Kumi will be naming his first 2023 campaign takes. And that tells you that we are not playing here. We are going into this election with our all. And you'll also be speaking about this, that of national issue, like you said, and that includes the hardship of rice, where people are buying 3,000, like 500, for bag of rice now. It is very sad. People cannot even find the rice. That's the first thing. One cup of rice is being sold for $150, like $10. It is sad. In Nimba County, people are buying one bag of rice for 5,000, which is even more than $25 now. So it is just frustrating, that the government at this point cannot be when they are playing politics out of it. If you listen to the chairman at the House of Representatives on Congress, the guy said the finance ministry said he gave the Commerce Ministry $7.5 million, to give to the rice importers to be able to subsidize the prices. When he gave the $7.5 million, according to the finance ministry, but the Commerce Ministry is saying that they only received $3.5 million. So where did the money go? Probably they used the money for the president's birthday celebration yesterday. Nobody knew. And then the people suffer. So this is, right now, open the phone, you'll see people call you, we cannot find rice, there is no rice. And then we need to open our eyes. That means, if you cannot find rice under this regime, after 6 years, you have been from rice crisis to another rice crisis. The importer said, let's add 150, or 1.50 cents on the rice price, because it's a global crisis. The Georgia government said, no, if you do that, the people will not vote for us. So we'll allocate this money in the budget so that the people can be able to pay. They're not doing free thing for you paying, because they allocated this money in the national budget. The House of Senate and the House of Representatives signed for this. So at the end of the day, the finance ministry, the program breaks the set amount that was in the budget. So they said $7.5 million to the Commerce Ministry to give to the importer. So now the same Commerce Ministry said, no, that lie was. We only receive $3.5 million. So the $3.5 million to all the importers now receive the money. So the few people that receive the money, they go for small, quantity of rice they bring in the country. Then they compare people. When you go to buy 20 bags of rice, they say, no, you buy flash beans or else before they give you rice. It is sad. So these are some of the things that is going on right now.
Okay, Liberian people, you hear that. We've been saying it, and Lemford, this is the situation in Liberia today. I hate to talk about the rice because we try to politicize the whole rice issue. But I think this government have shot themselves in the head. Now, the finance ministry is saying that we gave $7 million. They say, oh, no. You already gave $3 million, but you didn't receive all the money yet. The dress importer say, but you ain't got nothing. So they're picking and choosing. But this is what I want to come out. Liberians, I want you to listen to me keenly. Yesterday was the president's birthday. There is no money in the country. People are dying. People are starving. But this president is having a lavish birthday party, saying that the people should go to his house and enjoy and eat. If I was this president, I would take this day on my birthday and give back. Or if possible, go in the street and see what not to go have party for somebody. President of Liberia, the AFL will come to you on your birthday. All these people will come to you. I can remember 4 years ago, Mr. Comi's 60th birthday. He gave $60,000 to a small financial local firm to give loan to Liberian women, especially the marketeers. Come in, you see the situation we're going today? 25 kg, and not kg, 25 pounds of rice. It's $25. So dollar for 1 pound. Say something. Come in, my brother. Look what is going on Liberia today. At this time, going into 6 years, this president cannot solve a little bit. And we know the rice issue is a global thing. If the business people are going to add 125, no problem. But you say no, don't do it because election coming.
but you can't even subsidize the rice. What you say?
Oh, one thing I also want to disagree with, when people say the rice in a global thing, is false. It's false. You know, Liberian people always like to create scenario.
Good.
Who say rice short in Philippines? Who say rice is short in India? Who say rice is short in Thailand? Who says rice is short in Vietnam, in Burma, in all of the Asian countries? Why is it that we are depending on the Asian countries to import rice to us if we know that rice is a global issue? Why do people lie? That's the first thing. Rice is not a global issue. It's only in Liberia. It's a Liberian issue. That's the first thing I want to lay to rest. The next one is, they think about rice is an age-old thing. And I would have thought that any leader of Liberia would have learned that this is the first problem that they will want to solve if they get to power. The bread and butter issue, the rice issue. I would have thought that any rational person as a leader of Liberia would think that this is the first thing, because it was because of rice that a whole government was overthrown, that whole president was killed. I was a little boy, 1979, but I remember vividly the rice riot. Okay? Now, and since then, we've been having problems. Not one day or not one administration that will come to power that will not have problem with rice. So I think our leaders, it's about time that our leaders will take this issue very seriously and let us stop, for God's sake, let us stop this importation of rice. We go out to these big conferences, we go to donor agencies meeting, we go to other places and ask for money. They give us the physical cash. Leave this money business. This is just my tender advice to all leaders, would be leaders, or even present leaders. Tell these people, we got ties with China. China produces rice. We got ties with India, with all the Asian countries. Tell them, look, listen, we agree. You want to give us money, right? You want to help us. We need the money. We don't want to lie. But come and help us teach our people to make rice farms. It's very simple. You got a lot of people in Africa, in Liberia, so to speak, who are unemployed. You got a lot of people who call Zogo. Those are young people. And the good thing about the Zogo population is young, vibrant. They are people not more than 40 years. I think the oldest people you see there will be about 30, 35 years. They are young people. You can use these people and rehabilitate them. You always hear people say they want to build rehabilitation center.
I'm sorry. What you say, Sidiki?
I said it's breaking. Let's try to look at the speaker. It's breaking.
Oh yeah, I think his internet. He's all the way in. His internet is breaking. That's true. He said you're breaking a little bit. Yeah.
Okay, I'm in the North Pole, so we got a lot of ionic interferences. But what I'm trying to say is that our leaders should start accepting the physical cash from people who they believe can help us in certain areas, not only in the area of rice or agriculture. People, like, you go some places where the people can help to bring doctors in. Go and ask for doctors. Do not go ask for money. But our people, they look at the money because the money they'll be able to take it and put it in their pocket very easily. See? So how long does it take to go to India? You got a lot of people in India who are unemployed, but they are trained as farmers. Bring them to Liberia, employ them, give them a job. You got a lot of people in Thailand, Philippines. People, they earn small money. Some of them, they are own farmers. They farm for themselves. Bring them, employ them, let them teach your people how to make the farm. Let them teach your people the tricks, the tactics in making farm. In the next 5 6 years, you will not have to import rice. How many are we? Okay, I remember when I was growing up. I grew up, family in Nigeria with my grandparents. And my grandparents will have a big farm. We made farm every year. We had enough food, So people didn't think when Liberians were making farm those days. People didn't think much about rice. Okay, there was just people in the city who were buying rice, but not in Nigeria. I remember many times that during the harvest season, We will take, my grandmother will beat the rice, we pull out her hair, we carry to the Lawani man to sell it. We have one Lawani guy, and so now you look at the rice, you say, no, you want the other rice. We'll carry that rice back. Rice was popular rice those days.
Okay, let me come in.
Yeah.
Yes, and thank you. That's a good point there. But to my people back home, my Liberian friends, my brothers, my sister who listening to us right now, I want you to get this record. Get this. We need to make a decision for our country. Come 2023, it should be the year of reducing, of eradicating poverty in Liberia.
Right.
2023 should be the year of our children. That our children, our youth are the precious jewelry of Liberia, and we should vote for them. 2023 should be the year that Liberia will move forward once again. That we should vote for the right person. That right person is Alexander Cummings. Since the election in Liberia, Mr. Cummings is still in the country, still going around. Today he was in Grand Bassa County, the county that they say, oh, Yombi Kanga County. Don't let no one scare you. Don't let no one scare you. The people of Liberia, I believe in the people, you the people. We believe that we are not stupid people. We know what we want. We do not have patience for bad leaders. President Weah have tried to do what he can do, but he failed. Let us call spade a spade. If you're seditious, you in a District 9, District 11 area, listening to me because you're closer to the radio station, I want to be honest with you. You are not the problems. Do not put yourself as if you are the problem. You voted for President Weah because you believe that President Weah was the guy to make the change. But up to present, your life has not changed. It's going backward. You were under the rain and under the sun for 12 years supporting President Weah. But President Weah refused for the government to create jobs, to create avenues for jobs. Today, the budget of President Weah is triple the budget of agriculture. Our children are not going to school. The president said that free education, there is no free education. Today, people paying 8,000 liberty just to go to a public school. Let them stop lying to us. We get Nathaniel Magay who have stolen money from this country until the white man had to tell, he said, never to come to our country anymore. These guys are criminal. You know that. Sedition was in the street. They say President Weah, Nathaniel Magay is a criminal. He refused to fire them until the white man had to tell him. Instead, he refused to fire them. So don't blame yourself. Come 2023, we must remove President Weah. The world shouldn't laugh at us. We cannot kill ourselves. President Weah reaches.
Let me come in there.
Yeah, go ahead, my brother.
You see, the thing is, most citizens who want to play what we call a die-hard game. That they will, even if they die and they say, yeah, I know I'll die, but let me die, but I prepare to die. Now, I remember in one of Mr. Cummings' speeches, he said once that hunger knows no tribe, hunger knows no partisan.
No.
Now, rash crashes in Liberia. I wonder if the citizens wear the CDC beret on their head, they will get rice. No. Some of them are the worst. Let me tell you, I got close friends in the CDC. And what we talk behind closed door, you will not believe it. Some of us will argue on Facebook, but at the end, in my inbox or in our inboxes, we go there and what we talk is different. And let me tell you, people who believe still that Mr. Weah will ever win the presidency. No, let me tell you, if there's a runner-up, it's going to be between two opposition parties. Trust me, trust what I'm telling you today. Put me on record. The runner-up that will be between two opposition parties. So Mr. Weah is out, and Mr. Weah knows this very well. But again, from the start of this conversation, I told you that President Weah's supporters, the citizens, they believe that he is their president, and so they will hold on to him. And he also buys the idea, and so he treats his citizens as his followers, his people, and so he will not disappoint them. But or else, President Weah would have said a long time ago that, gentlemen, I got enough now. My term is up. I don't think I can go further. But those people making him, they continue to make him to believe that yes, he can make it. And this is where we got problems. Our leaders got problems because we never learn. The same thing happened to President Joe. President Joe knew that the war started way in Butuo. He covered the whole of Nima County, Bon County, Bassa, all over, and the war reached Montreal. But people still told him that, oh, Mr. President, you can make it. You see? So we never learn, and this will always be the problems. If Liberians and our leaders will only learn and try to draw their conclusions from history and then build a new way forward, I think we'll overcome some of these problems. Even that the rice problem we're talking today, we shouldn't be talking about rice, but bringing in the Ellis Cummings factor. Mr. Cummings has been very clear about his plans. So the Liberian people are the judges right now. And I know a lot of people made mistake to vote President Weah, but it's not late. The good thing about election is not that we are electing kings or queens to rule forever. We elect our president for 6 years. And if you know the guy is not performing well, kick him out. Great countries do that. America did it to Donald Trump. Okay? People voted for Donald Trump overwhelmingly. What happened? He's disappointed and they kicked him out. So we should not be the first person. Don't feel sorry. No, let me tell you, the cat is bad, but when you ready to kill it, it will look sorry for in your eye. You feel sorry for it, but it's bad. Kill it. You see? So
that's fact.
That's feel sorry for you and say, oh, yeah, the man, he tried. Oh, no, it's a livelihood. There's nothing about trying. Because you give the man the first 6 years to try. Every second of the day, you are getting older. You are getting older. So calculate the seconds in a minute, and then calculate the minutes in the hour, calculate the hour in the day, and the day in the year. You are getting older. You are not getting younger. So within 12 years time, you will not be what you are today. So you got to force that decision.
Let me come in back in. Yeah. To my seditions friends. So if you listen to me right now, let me give you a little example. I want you to check your age. From before Ellen became president, 12 years ago, you added 12 years to your age. Ellen, the UP government failed you. You supported President Weah for 12 years because you believed that President Weah was the change. Now President Weah took over. We're going into 6 years. You have not seen anything. You think if you gave him another 6 years, will you survive? You think he can make the change? There's a parable that says you chase a black car in a day. You won't find that black car. You can't find it in a night. The country is small. The only black car in the country. You run it all over. You can't see it in a day. Then President Weah say, oh, sorry, I'm doing good in the 6 years, but give me another 6 years. I will do good. That's a lie. President Weah will not do nothing more than what he's doing today. And let me tell you something. Don't waste your time. I don't want you to throw your vote away this time around. 2017, all the sedition voted. Everybody voted. CDC, the NPP, the LPDP. They voted. President Weah only had 38%. That time, President Weah was popular. He was strong. In the second round, other opposition joined him and gave him 61.3. Now, at that time, President Weah was opposition. Oh, forget now, he was opposition. But when he took over in the first 6 months, everybody saw the bad thing they were doing. Everybody started leaving. So the other people that joined left. The other good sedition left. Only the die-hard George Weah fan. And if you want to be a die-hard fan, you can't go nowhere. Die-hard fan can't go nowhere because they're not plenty. The people who love you, they're not majority. Let me tell you the real truth. Now, come 2023, if President Weah go in the second round with anybody, all the Liberian people will vote against President Weah. Anybody go with President Weah, they will vote. If Ellis Cummings go with President Weah, Ellis Cummings will defeat President Weah any day because you know what? Ellis Cummings is the change. Ellis Cummings is the real deal. Liberian people will not look at Ellis Cummings and vote Mr. Weah into power. Don't let nobody fool you. And I'm not too sure if President Weah will go into the first round. And this coming election, it is possible that Ellis Cummings will get your first round too. But President Weah, you can put all the sedition together. They can get 50 plus 1. So don't waste your vote. Don't wait. I know you love President Weah. You love him. When they say, oh, the people that die-hard general fan, they're not plenty more than the people who elect me. So the die-hard sedition, they're not plenty more than you. Don't mind them. They're not plenty. Yes, they're in a group. They can come together. But they never, President Weah never got more than 38% in his life. So it was you that gave him 61. So how in the world you think that he can win 2017 when he do nothing good? The message say, I do nothing, y'all voted for me. This small thing, y'all will still vote for me again. But let me tell you, the president sending us a warning. The president begging us to vote him out because he's tired. If we vote him in, don't blame him again. Oh. That one, we can't blame the president again. But let me tell you, I won't be honest with y'all. President Weah cannot change anything in Liberia anymore. Just what you see, that the thing you see until we leave. So President Weah said tired. Because President Weah not acting like somebody who won't run. So if you listen to me, you say you die. Oh, I love President Weah. I love President Weah too. But I love President Weah more than Liberia. I love Liberia more than President Weah. I love Liberia more than Mr. Cummings. I love Liberia more than anybody. But when we put all the leaders together, all the politicians together, Mr. Cummings is the only man who is talking to us, who going around the country. You don't expect him to give you money and put it in your pocket. To my older people, my papa then, Mr. Toe, Mr. Brown, my Mary, please, this time around, let's vote for our children. Let us tell President Weah that enough is enough. Let us look for a good leader. Mr. Cummings continue to tell us that the only man with a solution. Don't let nobody fool you. Don't let nobody scare you. All the opposition not together, that lie. The opposition not correct. They're not collecting taxes. The opposition not making appointment. The opposition do not represent Liberia. So even if UP one side, ANC one side, yes, they are opposition, but it ain't mean that they can come. It ain't work up. They don't let it go. Liberty Party and ANC, they are in a coalition, and other people joining. On all those who say they join the ANC, we welcome you. Don't let them fool you. They say, oh, when you join a CPP, you crook, that lie. They're jealous, they're scared of Mr. Cummings. Because Mr. Cummings are the only man that get platform. Mr. Cummings is the only man who telling us the truth. Mr. Cummings want to teach us how to work. Let President Weah yesterday, he was enjoying. What about you? Where are you today? President Weah had party. The AFF people dancing, the singing, the drinking. Where are you today? You thinking what you will eat. Then you say you die hard. Do not be a die hard politician fan. Don't do it. I'm not a die-hard Mr. Cummings fan. No. Because if Mr. Cummings go wrong, and let me tell you today, if we vote for Mr. Cummings, if Mr. Cummings do not do the right thing, I will campaign against Mr. Cummings 2029. Let me make it clear. So I'm not voting for Mr. Cummings because I love him. And I show Vikings and not what you're doing yourself. You know what I'm saying? We will vote against Mr. Cummings 2029 if he don't do the right thing for Liberian people. So we're not voting for him or campaigning for him because we love him or because he's short or because he work, God bless him, he get money. No.
Let me just come in there.
Yeah.
You see, one good thing I love about Mr. Cummings is that he caught his own case already long time ago. He told the supporters that if you are supporting me, thinking that you come and get a job or you come and start getting rich, stealing the Liberian people money, I'm not your guy. He caught his own case. So it means that people who are also supporting him, we can tell him that if you think we are supporting you to go there and disappoint the Liberian people, then you don't have our support. So it's clear. We got that line drawn between us, which is an agreement. We support you, you go do the Liberian people job. If you don't do it, you are out. And you support me, Don't think because you support me, you're gonna get a job. Of course, we are not saying that people who support Mr. Cummings will not. Of course, supporters and ANC members will get work. Of course, they will work because they are Liberians. If they are qualified to work, they will work. But it's not a contract that if we support you, you give us job. I'm a professional man. I can go to Liberia today with all the proliferation of Liberia. I mean, small radio stations in Liberia. I'll still find a job, or I can go and set up my own thing. We got a maritime institute in Liberia. I can go and teach. I can do. I'm a maritime man, so I don't worry about anything. But
You see that's true,
we are
Lemford.
already. So we
That
know.
Liberians, you listen to us, you listen to him what he just said. People believe that ANC people and people who support Mr. Cummings, they like to show off. It's not they like to show off. You know why? Most of them, they want camp, they look at Liberia, they love Liberia. They supporting Mr. Cummings, but Mr. Cummings not giving them money. They are the one who's helping too. So they need money from Mr. Cummings. They need job. Yes, when they call them to serve, they will serve. But look at Lemford living. He went to Liberia. He do his own thing. He pay his own way. He take a stand. He get on the radio. He get on a platform and talk about Mr. Cummings. He not nothing to tell because remember Lemford, we all were in the meeting when Mr. Cummings said, if you supporting me because you want something, then don't support me.
Yeah.
No politician can tell you that one. Mr. Cummings said, if you supporting me because you want job, then don't support me again. Then just go somewhere else. Go to somebody else. But we're looking at all that thing. Our children that are one hurting me. Our Zogos, they need to be out of the street. The president said he spent $21 million on the Zogo to rehabilitate them. Where? This president continue to give us false information. Then they will blame other people. We're not going to take it this time. Liberian people, you deserve better. You deserve good leaders. We are good people. We cannot make our children suffer. The old politicians fool us. We can't fool the young ones. So, Sidiki, how many minutes we got there?
We still have some time.
Okay, you want to open the line? Let us see who can get the first 5 calls.
I want to say something.
Okay, go ahead before you open the line. Go ahead.
Okay, so I think 1 week ago we observed McGill going to Margibi County, declaring his intention to run for the senatorial seat of Margibi County. This is very sad. So when McGill resigned from the government, McGill went to Bapulu that he wanted to run in Bapulu. And there, it is Bapulu McGill was born. That is Margibi County. So the people of Bapulu rejected McGill. McGill went to Bon County. McGill did not find left. Then McGill came is, in Bazuga to Margibi.
To Margibi.
So 1 week ago, what McGill did, the school bus, the student of UL, the University of Liberia student used to go to school, McGill took those buses, trucked people from Mosuaru to Margibi. So the students have to stay out of school for 2 days. They were not going to school. This is sad. A man that resigned from the government because of criminality. A serious partner in America accused this man of taking bribes from potential investors to keep the young people, especially the market women that really came out to greet or to welcome Mangehi Margibi. This is very, one saw that program, it really hurt me a lot. But in other ways, if you look at it, you cannot blame our people. Because, this is exactly what they've been doing to keep the people in the dark, for the people to not be able to stand up for themselves. So Mangehi went there, using the government bus, the student bus. At the end of the day, the students were not able to go to school for 2 days. And there's a media institution that did story on that, but more people are not talking about these things. So the most popular talk of the time right now is when the president go to America and say, Labrador, look at Miami. And the man went to charge him money. He talked about that. He said, when I said, Monrovia looked at Miami, I never met, it was the entire Monrovia, but where I live, Via Junction, when you go to Via look exactly like Miami. That is what Joe said today in church when he went to preach. So sometimes I think, who are those that can go to that church and say, it's a place of worship? They may go to the kind of fishing
Siliki, I don't know what Siliki, you hear me?
for
Yeah, wait. Well,
even talk about how you recall Richmond for the ambassador position, all the kind of stuff. Is that the place to talk about these things? This is what make you the president of your country. And at the end of the day, they may embarrass our country to the highest. They may went to the UN Assembly. Other countries are living there with money. For example, Zimbabwe, or one African country president left there with millions and millions of dollars. But what job you have brought to this country?
Miami.
Nothing. Nothing brought to this country. The $7.5 million was sent to Congress this year. The guy told us, look, got the $3.5 million and still I want to rest in Puerto. The Panama was celebrating my birthday, and all they were doing. And then the common people, in a slum community, in a village, look at where in Uganda sent the people buy government for $5,000, even more than $25. I hear you talking about $25. It's not 25. It's even more than 25. Also $30 United States dollars. 5,000 now. Because $30 is 6,000. So if people can buy rest for 5,000, that is close to $30. It is sad. And then people feel that when people like us, young people like us on the ground, have taken this lead to make Mr. Kumis president, they think that it is something. Kumis don't know some of us. All the people hearing our voices on this radio today, Kumis not paying nobody. It is the same Liberians that is in the diaspora or in America. That's what some of them family keep giving them hard time. They feel that the country is not secure. So they said, no, we got to support this man. So that our people cannot continue to call us all of the time. They should live the same kind of life we are living. Even not exactly, but at least it should reduce. That is why the people are so sponsoring the show. And we are here to make you aware of what is going on in the country. And some of you think that, this is all about Kumis. It is not about Kumis. It is about each and every one of us. And second, before we open the phone line, I hear more people saying this. Kumis does not have government experience. All the people who get elected in this country to the president, all of them are one way at the other working government. Joshua working government, he was an ambassador, peace ambassador. And then he was a senator. Ellie working government. Chancellor working government. Though was a defense minister, though working government. Where is Liberia today? 175 years. Where is Liberia today? And they want to take our country, somebody will not give you any message. Somebody will not tell you nothing, but only experience. Experience that has even proven. The road from here to local country is battle. More than 40 somewhere years in power. What is the change? What is the experience? It is sad.
Sidiki, you just raised a point that the people that are listening to us today should get it. Every time we talk about governmental experience, this person don't have governmental experience. Charles Taylor had governmental experience, according from GSA. He failed us. Ellen Johnson had governmental experience. She worked as finance minister. That was a problem. George Weah worked as peace ambassador and senator. It's worst. So if anybody, Liberian people, don't let nobody fool you about governmental experience. There is nothing they call governmental experience. That's a blinking lie. When they talk about governmental experience, if Lemford worked with doing marine, okay, you work with maritime, and he got his degree in maritime, and he been working there for 12 years. And I just got that same degree, and I only went 2 years. He got experience. When it comes to profession, then you get experience. Mr. Cummings is a financial man. Mr. Gonglo is a counselor. So you can't tell me Gonglo get governmental experience when he is never been president. Nobody get governmental experience. Liberian people listen, that's all. They let to use the words, they make sense. If anybody want to be a lawyer, let me put it to Moriah Jess or Anthony. If you look at she and Tier 1, they'll say, oh, but Tier 1 got more experience when it comes to law than Moriah. That's what it means. But in the president business, there's no degree. Come in level, maybe you got more experience too. So tell me, you got more experience.
Yeah, maybe I got more experience in government because I worked 1981. I worked at the Internal Affairs Ministry.
You got experience too.
Foundation student. But on a serious note, Siddiqui struck a very good point, and I will make certain analogy here. When people talk about governmental experience, especially on country like Liberia, I find it very, very, very funny, ludicrous, and unrealistic. Here is a country where the government is virtually non-functional. Let me put it that way. The government is virtually non-functional. Now, let's put it into context. Our vice president, former vice president, who they say got governmental experience, from his own mouth, he said he was parked in the garage like old car. So what did he do to get experience? Because if he was active, his own president will not park him for 12 years. That's first thing you're supposed to look at. Then secondly, you look at a country like Liberia, the governmental system of in Liberia, then you want to make it as a yardstick to measure somebody's performance. A government where the president cannot go to work, the president say now who's making music. So Joshua will move from there tomorrow and go anywhere and tell people I get experience as a president, or president that can't go to work. The ministers do not go to work. Some of them get poppy in the office where they got money, they take the money and leave and go for lunch and no one comes back. Yeah? Is that a good experience you want to bring to government? No. They talk about Mr. Cummings coming from the corporate world. And I will tell you, even the King Juice factory, where they get in Montreal there, what they call NACON, that advanced King Juice factory, their employees, I say the manager, I say any middle class manager, but their employees, the laborers who can sweep the place.
Yeah.
They are even disciplined more than our Liberian government officials and the entire government. Why? They go to work on time. Because if they don't go to work on time, they'll be dismissed. But the government in Liberia, you can't dismiss the civil servant easily. You can't dismiss the minister easily. The president has to decide to dismiss the president, okay? Or to dismiss the minister. So a government like Liberian government should not even be used as anything good to set example by to say somebody got experience. Because if you take that kind of experience and apply it to anything, it will not work. It will be bad because the government is non-functional. And let me just say one last thing again. Or if you work in a corporate world, especially at a level where Mr. Cummings work, and you take your CV to any job, they will accept it more than anybody who was minister before. It can be American minister. Say, why American minister, or Secretary of State or something, take his CV and carry to the corporate world and tell it was working government for 100 years. Yeah, man. People ask the first, why you left government, you want to come to corporate world? Because you're not corporate man. But take your CV from corporate world where everything is functioning. Imagine that Mr. Cummings, the job that he was doing, that he didn't go to work for one complete week. He was staying home enjoying. Things will collapse. Imagine that a guy who goes to stationary machine to produce a Coca-Cola, if he doesn't go to work for 10 minutes, what will happen? Coca-Cola worldwide will be delayed by 10 minutes.
Yep.
So the corporate world functions perfectly. I have worked in private companies here. They will function. Now I work in the government here. Now I'm working in the government. I can take my phone tomorrow morning, early morning, around 3 minutes to working time. 3 hours of working time. I take my phone and call my boss. I say I'm sick. I can't make it today. She'll say, okay, stay home. But I cannot do that for the corporate world, for any factory. So people coming from the corporate world, they are more disciplined. They are time abiding, law abiding. They don't steal the company property, all the kind of thing. Compared to government, they respect government they respect the company property. Okay? Now, Liberian government, what they say about government car, they say that government car, you can use it anyway. We drive it where they get leave it there, then you call it the GSA or you call your office. They can put gas inside. You cannot do that. Here, when I used to work with a company, here, we're driving the company car. They put the gas inside and the mileage is registered. When we go to fill it up, we register the mileage and you drive it, you park it, the mileage is registered. So they know how much gas you use. You see it? So in the corporate world, we are more disciplined, more than government, and especially government like Liberia. You cannot use that as a yardstick to measure somebody's qualifications. So Uncle, let me
let me come in there again. To my Liberian people, before Siddiqui, maybe you please tell me how many minutes before we open the line. To my Liberian people who listening, don't let the people fool you about experience. Let me give you an example. If we're talking about governmental experience, then why we never elected Joe Biden and Joe Biden? Because John, we ain't get more experience with the Mr.
More
Boy
than more than
working in the government. You know what I'm saying? Say you're talking about governmental experience. Why you ain't elect Bernard Ure? Because Bernard Ure worked there for long. Why you ain't elect Mel Jones? Say you want to talk about governmental experience. Because I don't know what they get. Which are the degree they got they call governmental experience? Y'all stop the lie. Y'all don't let the broke people fool us again. Just how they say they fool us. The so-called broke people, we're not talking about the real one now. The so-called broke people, we know them when we see them. Some of them on Facebook today saying that Mr. Cummings don't have governmental experience. Anybody take it from their mouth, know that they know book. Know that they pay for the degree. Because in government, there is no degree they will give you say this particular degree is for you to be president. Now, even on your paper, your degree, if you're engineer, they don't tell you say go work for government or go work for private sector. The private sector and the government can take that degree and use it. Now, let for example, if we go bring like what it needs, J. Bona Blamo, may he so I know he stay alive as foreign minister, and we'll bring one other new guy as foreign minister. We'll say, oh, J. Bona Blamo got more experience than that man here. Okay, let me go to Louis Brown because I know some of you can get there. Louis Brown worked to the UN for some time. If you bring one new person who never worked, and you say, no, Louis Brown got more experience than that man. But when it comes to elected posts for the people to vote for you, there is nothing they call experience. But let me tell you, librarian man, what you want to look for first. Look in that man and see if he's honest, if he will tell you the truth. That's the first thing. There's a book written by Jefferson on leadership. The first thing in there, they say you must be honest. They say don't lie. Then look and see if that man respect himself and respect other people. He got integrity. Then if that man got empathy, he can feed. That man can sit and say, how you looking if my children go to bed with no food? That man can feel sorry for people too. Then you look at the way the man serving his own family. How the man live in a community. Then you look for a leader. But you can't say because you see Mr. Kishen on Facebook, he looking bright, then you say, oh, Mr. Kishen can be president. Oh, yes. No. Know about Mr. Kishen. What Mr. Kishen not do for himself. Whether he rude, whether he correct, whether he not do certain things, he not work in the community. Look at all these things. But don't just tell me, say, the other person get governmental experience. Senator, the non-governmental experience position. They put elect you because they want you. So popularity contest, they're not leadership. Because when our people get to know that you know nothing, your popularity can fall jealous when pigeon playing jealousy and eradicate itself. So that governmental experience, I tired hearing about it. Charles Taylor worked in the government, GS from immigration, he was GSA boss. Finally, he became president. We took him out. President Doe came there too. He killed people who made him president. Ellen Johnson worked with finance ministry. They say, oh, the Oman correct. Then Mr. Cummings now you say he get government. So I think we prefer to use the governmental experience because you know what? It's like the men who go to the private school and the public school. In the private school, they say you got to make 80. That means at 70. In the government school, they say just make 70. In the private school, you can't miss class. In the government school, you can miss class. Then it comes to the corporate world. In the corporate world, it's zero tolerance. If you can't produce, they will fire you. In government, if you don't produce, they can keep you. And they say, just get off 50% of your time. So imagine a man who can get 100. Then you bring him down and say, get 50%. He will overpower you. You will say, the price will make 100. I will be man. Then the place someone made 50. Forget it, man. I will be like a king. So that is how it works. So that's why you see when someone all come from private company, if we as a contractor and we go to a company, we perform because the fact is that zero tolerance. We got to make that money. We got to fight. We got to work. We can't call out. Mr. Cummings let time. The librarian official in let time. Mr. Cummings can get out in the morning to go when Mr. Cummings said 5 o'clock. But I know you're not afraid of Mr. Cummings. I know you as a citizen, you like Mr. Cummings. But our other people who know how to spend money because they work for it. Ask yourself, say, why when they eat government, they get plenty of money, by the time they leave government, they broke? Because stealing money can last. When you steal money, it can stay along with you because it's not for you. But you see, Mr. Cummings, he worked hard for his money and he turned it around. So today, God bless him. But his money now want money. Oh. But let me say this before I go to Siddiqui. Mr. Cummings alone as an individual, that man has spent almost $5 million on Liberia. I challenge anybody, nobody not do it. Mr. Cummings now build schools. The George Weah that we love never built school before. Mr. Cummings gave money to the University of Liberia, $2 million, which is almost $20,000. President Weah only gave $5,000 during due time. Mr. Cummings gave a generator to be there that can electrify the entire Magibi and Kakata. Mr. Weah never gave no Tiger generator before. Mr. Cummings built a community college, engineering community college in Nima County. The UMU, different hospitals, the Cummings Academy. Mr. Cummings continued to give people scholarship. Mr. Cummings was the first man who paid WIAC fee. We can't hear about the wonderful WIAC fee. When George Weah, he paid nothing. He used the government money, then he said he do something. But let me tell you something. Mr. Cummings can only do small. But Mr. Cummings believed that if he's president, everybody will be part of it. You know what they're scared of Mr. Cummings for? They're scared because they say Mr. Cummings will spoil their chopping. That all the politicians are afraid of Mr. Cummings. They say the man, because the man fee get money, when he's president, he will spoil our chopping. So imagine, you elect these people to go be a political humanitarian. So before I go, do not vote for Akara's grave. Kick him out. Do not vote for Magay. When Magay was minister, you couldn't come around him. He finished showing himself to you. Eat the money and vote against him. Nobody can call Magay. No, you can't even go near him, said the police. But today now he calling you and you go sit down there. Oh, I will vote for Magay. When you try it, Magibi Kante will be out of the list because nobody will do good. Nobody will do business with your senator. Do not vote for Thomas Fala. All the CDC supporters, including some of the opposition, don't vote for them. That your own representative, including the one from Sando, the TJ, they remove them. Look, I'd rather try new people. We will continue to try till we get the best. Now, we have tried everybody. It is time to look for the best. Let us look for the best. Don't let nobody fool you, President. We cannot help us. Amongst all the politicians, Mr. Cummings is the only one who working. He is the only one. Yes, it's open to everybody. I will be happy to see Mr. Cummings going with a good candidate like Tier 1. I will be happy to see Mr. Cummings going with a good candidate. But it got to be a teamwork. Mr. Cummings is not running for ANC. Mr. Cummings is not running for Cummings family. He's not running for Lanford. He's not running for me. The same thing we're doing here, the same thing Mr. Cummings won in Liberia. Mr. Cummings believed that if the president of Liberia was good, he was going to stay. And listen, even if we don't make him president, he will still chill with the big boys. He will still sit in the president office. He will still shake president because you know what? He in a position where anybody will want to talk with him. He ain't got to buy a new house. He ain't got to buy a new car. He said the money will, in fact, the man got business in Liberia. He's not generating money. He's not making money, but he paying people. So you see that? So if Mr. Cummings can do all the good things, but they say, oh, the man do nothing. Nobody know him. That's a message. Why you think Mr. Cummings went to court? Because God wanted for Mr. Cummings to see the judicial system, how it corrupt. That's why God made sure he went to court, my people. So we beg you, this coming election, put Liberia first. We already in the water. Don't worry about getting wet. So, Mr. Weah can help us again. When he say he will help us with the money, no. We say Mr. Weah will make good decision that the business people can come to Liberia and make business and be free and enjoy and pay government share instead of paying President Weah. They say when the body rotting, it comes from the hair. Our government fail us. President Weah fail us. We all love him. We don't hate him. When President Weah was just ordinary person, nobody talk about him. We didn't care what he did with his money. But if you're in public place, we will talk about it. We'll talk. Siddiqui, how many minutes remaining there if you want to open the line?
Yeah, let's open the line. You want to make a contribution on your general show, please call 07777 It's the number to call and you'll be live on Liberty Radio. 07777 07777 That is the number to call. So please call right now and then you'll be live on Liberty Radio 88.1. 07777 07777 That is the number to call, and then you will be live on Liberty Radio. If you want to call the news, okay, we have a caller. Hello, what's your name? Where you calling from? Oh, we lost that caller. Hello. Yeah, what's your name? Where you calling from? Okay, J. Larry Dennis, make a contribution. Hello. We lost the caller. Hello? Everyone?
Yeah.
Yeah, we lost the caller. Lost time.
Well, learn for that the problem we have around the phone institute is too bad.
Yeah, I understand. These are some of the things that we're talking about in this modern age, where everybody.
07777 You'll be live on Liberty Radio. Make a contribution, and we will break it on, and then you make a.
We need to get I'm trying to see I can get a phone there because the studio phone, the made it clear, is not okay. By the time they pick up, it's one of the rotary phone, but do it connect to Wi-Fi, yeah, but it's not okay.
You guys are just be on the line.
Is anybody on?
No, we're not getting no caller.
Okay, and Lenford, come up with something. You are trying to say.
Okay. The thing I just want to talk about is to citizens, those that still believe that President Weah can deliver. No, listen. You invested 6 years into this presidency, and you don't see anything happening. My grandmother used to tell me the thing that cannot climb, you put it on 3-ply ladder, it will not climb. You see, Warren cannot climb. So you put on the ladder, it will just be turning around.
Hello, caller, what's your name? Where you calling from? Yeah, what's your name? Where you calling from? Yeah, thank you very much, Emmanuel. Make a contribution. Calling from Margibin. We lost our caller again.
Damn. He called him from Margibi County. I sure he listened to what we're saying.
Yeah, he would have talked about McGill, I'm sure.
Where are you calling from? Okay, Mose, make a contribution. Thank you. I just want to comment your video. The problem is that okay.
Don't Siddiqui not call that man off.
Yeah, hello, caller, what's your name? Where you calling from? What's your name? Where you calling from? You say what's your name? Yeah, but just away from the monitor. Hello? We lost our caller.
Okay, Siddiqui, let me say something.
Let me say this before you can come in. Let me say this to our caller. The problem about we Liberians is this: when we hold on to something against somebody, will hold on to that forever and ever. Even a person come out and make clarification, will not still believe it. That's the problem about. And this is something that we need to stop. And it comes about changing our mindset. Mr. Kumis had this interview with Mamadi Dakite at the time the late Dakite was alive. And, this is very unfortunate that Mamadi is no more. He could have been the person today clearing Mr. Kumis' name for this whole allegations about being a gay or not. But we have a caller. Let's take this caller. Hello, what's your name? Where are you calling from? You are loud, Musa. Make a contribution. Thank you very much, Musa. Thank you. Yeah, so I will give you this chance right now to talk about. Let me make this. Let me conclude on this quickly. Mamadi is no more alive. So hello, what's your name? Where are you calling from? Okay, make your point. Kumis, listen. This is a radio station. Listen to me, my brother. Mr. Kumis is not okay. You see, people, you gotta be.
Yeah, cutting off.
Online
Yeah.
because this is a radio station, and the people mind in this country is not made up. That is the ignorance of our people.
Okay. Let me come.
People that they come on and they say they will carry it.
Yeah.
And that's a fact.
Let me come in this and let people who listening to me today. Is there somebody line?
No. Go ahead.
Those of you who listening to me, please. I understand Liberians, we are hard to deal with. We don't believe things, and when we believe things, we keep it to ourselves. The late Mamadi, he's not alive today. Seditions and other people from the UP who are running around with a video, with an interview that was edited. How I am struggling with this life. How can two men marry? They remove it, and then you people are saying that Mr. Cummings is not a gay. He been married for over 40 years. Even today in Liberia, you can't find one girl in Liberia that said, Mr. Cummings is my boyfriend. You can't find one person for the last 6 years that can tell you, Mr. Cummings, try me. Liberian people, we need to stop it. We need to respect ourselves. People went around and said, President, we are gay, you are sleeping with boys. And I don't have no proof. We need to stop the lies. We need to stop the lies, please. We need to stop it.
Hello. Yeah, what's the name you calling from? But man, if you listen to the show, stop calling.
Okay, now, if you listen to this show, I will not accept you to come on my show and start to disrespect other people. It's up to you. I know you're seditions, or maybe you're from another party and you want to believe what you want to believe. I can't put it in your ear. I can't force nobody. But let me tell you today, when Rabbi Salif went to Liberia, in less than 2 years, everybody knew that Rabbi Salif was doing something, and some of the young boys came out. I challenge anybody, if you want to come out and say, Mr. Cummings is gay, I want you to prove it to me. This man is not a gay. It's not because he's running for president. But you got all the gays in our country. You got all the lesbians in our country. That is their right. We don't go against nobody. But Mr. Cummings, Alexander Cummings, is not a gay. If you want to choose what to believe, if you're a pastor, that means you're supporting somebody and you don't have a message for Liberian people. Because you're supporting somebody and you cannot challenge Mr. Cummings, you want to say he's a gay. He is not a gay. He's a family man, been married for over 40 years, got 2 children, 5 grandchildren. Since we don't know, how many times they should tell you this thing?
Can I just come in? Can I just come in?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, all of the people who talk about Mr. Cummings are gay. Now, take for granted. Is being gay a sin? Yes, it is. It is a sin. It is a moral sin.
They got a color on it, color. Go ahead, Sidiki.
No, we lost our color. Go ahead.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, you got the very like somebody both talking. They do abortion, which is killing human being. Because in the 10 Commandments, God gave 10 Commandments. They are lost in the Bible.
You calling for Marky? Okay, you're back. Okay, make a contribution. What's your name? Okay, Josh. Thank you for your contribution. Make a contribution.
Lost that one. The guy from Magibi trying to call in.
His line must be bad. But yeah. I was trying to say something. God gave 10 commandments. There are all of moral laws in the Bible.
We have a caller.
Okay.
Hello, what's your name? Where are you calling from? What's your name? Where are you calling from? Hello? Yeah, what's your name? Where are you calling from? You calling from where? Yeah, what's your name? Yeah, what's your name? Yeah. Oh, wow. The phone gets serious problem.
We gotta look for a phone. We gotta get phone. People promise us, but they come through here.
Okay, go ahead. There's no caller here. The phone. Yeah, go ahead, bro.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
The point I was trying to make, there is no sin greater than the other one. The only sin that is greater than all sin is blasphemy. Now, you got people who talking. Some of them, they commit abortion, which is killing, and God said, thou shalt not kill. There is no one in the Bible where God said, thou shalt not be gay. Okay? Some people will say God destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah for homosexuality. Yes, that was a revenge by God against a disobedient group. The same way God made the whale to swallow Jonah because Jonah disobeyed him. Okay, so people, there is no sin that greater. You got people, some of your wife now commit more than 15 abortions. Then you sit down, you accuse somebody. You gotta respect somebody of you. Some of you talking, you got several girlfriends. That is also sin. So I don't understand. And you know, the sin you gotta change your mindset. Like what I mean, do not like what other people do, but respect what they do, because you cannot shape the mind of anybody. You cannot tell anybody what to think, what to do. 2 things you can do. You have to accept it and don't like it. But accept it, because you cannot change it. So why will you go kill yourself or saying that somebody is gay when the person is not sleeping with you? And all of you talking, like Kishan said, not one person, or send the accusation, or not one person have come out to raise their hand and say, this level with Mr. Cummings. So it's all nonsense. It's all lies.
Okay, guys, if you listen to me, Do not allow nobody because they don't have no message. And if you, the citizen, will believe that Mr. Cummings is a gay, shame on you. Mr. Cummings is not a gay. Only in Liberia, we know when you see a gay. Mr. Cummings is not because he don't hang out with people in the night. When you see there are people in our government that people accuse every day. They go to all the parties. They make children to strip. They sleep with babies. They sleep with young girls. But Mr. Cummings don't do that. He respect women. He respect men. He respect children. He respect every human being. But today you are running around. When Obe from CDC was playing the tape and lying, he came back and confessed. Said, I don't want brought that message. Today, Mamadi is dead. This man who had the interview and they went and changed the tape. Mr. Cummings said in an interview that this is the life I'm struggling with. How can two men marry? They went and removed the two men and they said, this is the life I'm struggling with. What is in that one to say, this is the life I'm struggling with, to say, yes, I am a gay? Liberian people, that's what brought a war, because we don't believe and we lie on people. That's how they kill people in Liberia, because we look at people and say, oh, that man get money. Oh, that man did this. Because we listen to people who don't read for ourselves. Please. This man is a decent man. He got children. He worked hard. He got wife. This man traveled with his wife everywhere. Now someone then say, oh, but why we can't see Mr. Cummings and his wife? Do you see President Weah and his wife running around all over the place? No. We don't want to get people in, but we need to stop these things. It took 2 years for us to know that Robert Sali was gay in Liberia. It would not hide. If Mr. Cummings was a gay, it would not hide. People would know who is who. You can't even challenge anybody. You will never find one girl to say, oh, that Mr. Cummings paying that girl rent. Oh, Mr. Cummings get girlfriend. Because you see it on him. Mr. Cummings is a decent man. He don't cheat on his wife. He respect people. So because you see one girl as a girlfriend, so you're gay. What the nonsense is this? We need to stop it. Liberian people, we get better thing.
You know, let me say this. You know, that's a sad fact about it. And the young men are called right now, you know, if you check it out, you know, it is the same common people that Mr. Cummings is coming to make things better for. It's the same young people. You know, you make yourself to be news, to believe, to people lies here. You know what? They have nothing to say about this man. Nothing. Nobody can tell you say Cummings stole money. Nobody can tell you say Cummings support that war to bring our country to where it is today. Nobody will tell you that. So the only thing they have resorted to is to come and lie to the people, to the Liberian people, so that my marriage in a slum community cannot know the truth, cannot know that yes, Mr. Cummings went, you know, he struggled with his parents to go to the demonstration school, you know, graduated, and then got his first degree, worked with Liberian Bank, LPDI, got an opportunity to go to America. You know, it was blessed by the Almighty God. You know, and worked hard, and through his integrity, he was able to work for the, you know, in the corporate world and get everything that he have today. And the only reason, or the only time this man have committed, is to say, look, Liberia is so rich, and then Liberians are so poor. Let me go back to contribute to my country. So the only thing they have to say is to be passing on. Like you said, they got that aspect of the video where Mr. Cummings said, how can a man marry men? They cut that aspect.
They cut it off.
Be admitted to that. They cut it off. You understand me? So the only thing you have decided is to be lying, to pass around. No, it's so lie. They may have come on radio station. As a man question, they may make it clear. I'm not gay. I've been married for 40 some years. But only one wife. I get 2 children. How many times you want to make this clarification to you? But you will call all day. The men are gay. Somebody, first of all, look at the thing the man saying. That you're coming there. So, and I look at the who we are for. Like the business that will change this country, that will make every one of us to be happy like to use.
Well, you know, Siddiqui, if the man can take his time to listen to the Cummings business, that means he's interested. But some of them will come, will pretend, they will behave as if to say they're not interested. They will come without, you know, I've met many people like that, and I've talked to them, and they are convinced. Some of them will come like that, flamboyantly and try to say things that will take you off gear. But all we need to do is to continue to explain to them.
Yeah,
But
we're explaining. And you know, one of the things again, Lenfo, it
mm,
reminds me of South Africa at the time during apartheid.
mhm.
Who were going after people was the blacks. The white people used the same poor people to go after their own people. And in Liberia today, the people who call the radio station and make all these nonsense remarks are the common people. But because somebody gave you $25 or $10 or data and say, just call that radio station and go cost Mr. Cummings. Just believe in this. You doing it to yourself. You doing it to yourself. Eh? When President Weah was playing football, people had all kinds of news about sleeping with boys and this and that. I would not say it. I would not come up and say because I don't have proof. It's not even an issue. I remember that I will quote him, Molba Molu. He was suspended. He said he saw George Weah and great casing. They suspended him. The real issue of Liberia, we will put it aside and say, oh, that man too short, oh, that man an American man, that man are this. Just recently, our president came to the States and said, I'm happy to be home. A president of Liberia said, I am happy to be home. But if another person were going to say that, like the CDC were going to run with that story. They were going to run with that story. But President Weah said, I'm happy to be home after 4 years. Or president say America that says home. Then he said, I'm citizen of the world. But we all know President Weah got a house in America. So it's not an issue for me to run with. But if Mr. Cummings come now and say, I'm happy to be, and say, oh, I'm American citizen. Sedition, if you don't have nothing to run on, you doing it to yourself.
We have 1 more minute.
Yeah, so open it, see if nobody call, then we can wrap it up and let me get Lenford.
People calling, but we're not the lounge.
Yeah, we'll try to get a phone. I know people will get a phone. The girl that promised us, I've not, maybe she's going to do a little living, but we will get phones so they can relax. It's a matter of time. We will get everything set up. We'll get everything. You will sit and enjoy yourself. Let's just pray for long life.
Let me see your ticket. Hello, what's your name? Where are you calling from? Yeah, where are you calling from? Yeah, make a contribution.
Yeah, thank you. Actually,
Amanda, you know who calling?
No, wait. Then you want to say something. Let me see what you want.
That is still me calling again.
Let he wants to say something. Let me.
I'm cutting up.
No, but you are trying to say something different.
But they're not saying anything different.
Okay, what the guy name? What is his name?
They say Moses Stowe.
Okay, Moses Stowe, I know you from Broadway. I got property in Broadway. And I understand your plight. And you want to believe what you want to believe. We're not going to shove it down your throat. We're not going to force you. It's up to you to believe what you want to believe. But I will tell you today, Mr. Cummings is not a gay. Mr. Cummings is married. And you can't even find a girlfriend. You can't find a girlfriend or a boyfriend or whosoever. Mr. Cummings is a decent man. If you want to listen to whatsoever, in the government that you're supporting today, don't let me call names who are lesbian and gays. But you give them job. I don't have problem with gays. I don't have problem with lesbian. But I pray to God that I shouldn't get one in my family. But I respect every one of them. I respect them and I respect them for who they are. They are Liberians. If you get, God will judge you. But I will not lie on no Liberian when I know you are not, and then I start lying, say you are. I will not lie on no individual because the Bible tells me, who are you to judge? When we get people doing abortion and killing and then prostituting all around, then you look at somebody and you want to pin them and say they are gay. And in 6 years, you won't tell me in 6 years, you cannot find a proof? But let me say this. If you really want to know Mr. Cummings or gay, if I were you, I will go to Mr. Cummings and see if he can approach me. And then you will come back to me and tell me if he's a gay or not a gay. That's the only thing I can tell you, my brother. That's the only way you can believe it. But I will say it again. He's not a gay, and it's a shame on Liberians who want to accuse other people. Apart from Mr. Cummings, we accuse people every day. It's shameful. It's disgraceful as a nation that we don't read, we don't research, we just lie on people, and that's what caused the 250,000 Liberians that were killed during the war. It was not only rebels alone that killed them. They were killed because people pointed at them. They led Macaulay in Ghana's who never worked in government. He had a chicken poultry. They pointed at him and said he was working in government, and he was killed. They pointed at so many people in Liberia, all that men are government officials and never work. We're supposed to be ashamed of ourselves. We should be ashamed of ourselves and call ourselves Liberian, one of the sweetest people that you will ever come across, but we are wicked. We are wicked, we pretend. We jealous of each other. That is pure jealousy. We need to stop it. Lenford, please give me your closing.
Well, I just want to say,
Just make it 1 minute because I think over time.
yeah, the Liberian people are getting the message. And so no degree of propaganda, lies, or whatever will convince the 1 million Liberians. Those that decide to suffer will always believe in the lies and live the last way, and then they will continue to suffer after 6 more years if they want to elect President Weah. But, everything is clear now, day by day, that Mr. Cummings is making headways. Because everything that happened, they said that Mr. Cummings. Sanction scheme, they said that Mr. Cummings. Rest finishing the time, Mr. Cummings bought all the right. So everything is about Mr. Cummings. So it means that people are getting to know this man. 2017, and now a lot of people blame Mr. Cummings for everything, and now a lot of people knew his name. So it means that people are getting to know him. People who say that they didn't know him are getting to know him. So I just want to tell the Liberian people that they should vote wisely come 2023 because it's going to be the deciding moment for the future of them and their children. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much. Thanks, Lana, for staying with me. But don't go yet. We'll get up. We'll just stay for another 5 minutes after Sidiki. Sidiki,
Yeah, hello.
give your closing and let's call it quit.
Yeah, it's just very, very frustrating, but we'll not be discouraged. We'll always come in here to give the Liberian people the message, most especially about this man who have abandoned, all of the immunity that Coca-Cola used to. The only part or the sad part about this whole thing is Mr. Pume was a son, a private jet. The same way they give people private cars, this is a private car, I know what you're going to carry. That is how they get some private jet to this man. The man was traveling from country to country around the world. The man left all those immunity and said, look, I'm resigning. Nobody sacked you. Nobody went to election and removed him to the position he was. The man resigned. Said, look, with all the benefit, all the opportunities, I'm leaving all those things. I'm going back to my country to contribute. And then somebody say, the man not do nothing. This is the same man Ellen Johnson recognized during 2014 Ebola crisis because of the contribution to help to fight the Ebola in this country. But none of you today can remember because of politics. And this is not about anybody, it's about ourselves. If we sit here and allow those people to be sacred politicians or the Joshua men, some of you are calling on radio station and say, look, you cannot find rest. But if Joshua is being given another city, what you call for, you will say, look, my brother just died. Cover PS, you say, my brother just died. But because you have not eaten for. These are cries that you'll be crying when you let this president come to the country. And that, I don't think most of you want that to happen. To change that, we all got to be, to join this struggle to make Mr. Cummings president come to the country. So thank you very much. We'll be here on Thursday on, at 9 o'clock Liberian time, 5 o'clock Eastern time to bring you all of the happiness again in our country. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Sidiki. Have a good day, and I will talk to you later.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, we off now. Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Okay, and we'll be here for the next 5 minutes, and then you can leave. I want to talk to certain people here. Heart will. If you have the video that you say you have proof Mr. Cummings are gay, I would love you to post the video. It will be good for you to post it.
But why he waiting for all that time to post it?
Why will you be waiting and wasting time to post the video of Mr. Cummings if he's a gay? But let me make you to understand. And the one who just called my name and said, Morning ball, you know Mr. Cummings is a gay. But let me tell you something. I don't know. Maybe you know he's a gay because right now I'm on the social media, so I can say what I want to say. Maybe apparently he have fucked you before, so you understand he's a gay. Maybe you can prove that. So maybe you are a gay. I don't know. If you want to convince me, two things: either you
Yeah,
slept,
let him produce a proof.
either you slept with him, or you can produce the video you want to produce. So hard will. Apparently you slept with him. He have fucked you already, and you have the video on that. Then you can bring it up. And you that just try to make it look like, because anybody call me this name, Moneyball Cummings is although you don't spare the gay, right? You say gray, that was fact. Marcus J. Bobo. Maybe you are the gay. I told you before, you don't have a picture on your profile. You just one of the cowards. So maybe you are one of the one who they can fuck in the ass. That is why you think he's a gay. So you got to prove it to me. And Hard Will, I want you to spread the tape. Don't waste my time. You are one of the bitches in this country who don't even know what they want because your brain is made out of mud. It's black with corruption and dirt and father people, little children. For me, I've been married going almost 20 years with kids. Nobody can prove nothing to say, even I got someone out there, I can do all my flooding. But you guys are so dirty. My show is over, not on air. You're so dirty, but the social media will listen to me. You guys are so dirty. Your own wife don't even know how you stand. You are so dirty. Your own wife don't know how your pocket look like. They don't even see your salary because you got concubines all over the place. You don't even take care of your own children because your minds are stupid, but you call yourself Christian and you don't even go to church. So you don't understand what some of us are speaking. You don't understand. Because of politics, you want to bring yourself on social media and act stupid as if you are not even a human being but a dog. And a dog is better than you. A dog is better than you because the dog got training. The dog knows its owner. The dog follow instruction. But some of you people are in a situation, either you get a fake page, you are cowards, you follow who you want to follow, but you guys take your ASS and try it. If he's a gay, then you can come back and tell me. That's all I can tell you. Go ahead, my brother.
You didn't waste your time. Black that fool and let him go. If he feels that he can produce a video, he will produce a different place. If you say Mr. Cummings is gay and you get a video, why are you keeping it over 6 years? You can't produce it. So he just want that. I don't even on my show. I don't even gratify people like that. It's not a turn nonsense and black you because you will not. No, these are people who are looking for a place to be. When you black that fool, he will not come back again. Maybe they are blacking to other places. He ain't nowhere to go. So if he blacking, then he gone. But on a serious note, we got some decent people who are listening. I don't know what are you talking to me, but you are muted, so I can't hear you.
No, I listen to you. That someone just called my wife. I want to do.
Okay. But the point I'm trying to make is that we got some decent people on the show and who want to listen. And I just for people like that, I just want to say, no, listen. The time we take here and the time you take to sit there and listen to us, you could be doing it to do something else. But once you are here, it means you are here for something. And this is one thing I have learned in the Western country. Time is very important. Time is very important. And you got most of the morons on social media get parading and talking nonsense because they ain't got time. They ain't got any use for that time. They are not working in Liberia. They're not working. They get moving around. So he begged, somebody gave him $5, he put unit on a phone, he will consider and talk nonsense. Instead of using that unit wisely to call companies and ask if he can work, they will not do it. They will kind of talk nonsense. Tomorrow you get broke, you start calling again. So people like that, I don't really waste my time on him. And because if you want to sustain an argument, I pay for internet, so I got unlimited. My whole family, we can use it for 100 years as long as we pay our bills. That you will put $5 and consider it. No, but I don't waste my time on people like that.
This is the thing, yeah. Some of my followers, you know, sometimes I get out of character, which is not bad. And you know, you're supposed to know me. Yes, I get out of character because some people deserve it. But, you know, it's so sad. There's a tape, you saw that tape when Obe brought that whole news up. Then he came back. I still got the tape here, but it's not on my computer. He said, I made up that story because we don't know about Cummings, so we had to bring something out. And Some of y'all live in America. In this country, if you reach to the top, you see the gays and lesbian community, they look for big people. Anderson Cooper, he was just a journalist. They
Yeah.
pressure him until he had to come out and confess. Don Lemon, they pressure him. And the pastor in Atlanta, because you see Atlanta, they get a lot of gays there. They got the children, the young boys. They're not doing nothing. They get boyfriends and they grow up. So they start making up their stories. Mr. Cummings, a vice president, an executive, he would never hide himself from saying, because the LGBT community want big people to say, yes, we are a big group. And let me make this clear. I don't judge nobody. And two, this man is not a gay. That is why our country today, we still going through problems. We our own problems. There are people who came out and said, President Weah was playing football. He slept with boys. And he's still doing it today. But why I don't talk about it? Because I don't have proof.
Right.
There are people who saying it. But you know what? Even if you are gay, I don't think I want making to be a bad leader. Even if you are sleeping with young boys, stay is not do the people work. But this man, he's a fatherly, your father. He got children, he got grandkids, he lived his life, and you will not find nobody. He just had an interview and said, I never supported gay association or spent 1 cent. I am not a gay. And we're not going to waste our time. We will give the message, and at the same time, we'll come back and deal with you. We will deal with you. The time you will say, Mr. Cummings are gay, when I finish giving my message to the end of the show, trust me, if you my friend, like the one who just called my name Morning Ball, that means you know me for true. But actually, it's not Money, it's Mounie. Mooney Ball. So I will give it to you the way it's supposed to be. I will not take it from you. It can be any other person. People have inboxed me some information about President Weah. Because I don't have that proof, I will not say it. People have inboxed me all kinds of information about people. But if I don't have that proof, I would not say. It's not because I'm on social media. It's not because I'm on social media and I don't want Mr. Boak, I don't want Joshua. I should come and start lying if I don't have the proof. You know the proof. Whether he this or that, I would not say it. I speak to what I know. So if you want to know again that Mr. Cummings is a gay, if I were you, I would go around Mr. Cummings and see if he will approach you. Then you can come back and say, oh, Mr. Cummings approached me. He slapped my butt. Or try and see. Then you can come back and tell me, but from now, keep your peace, my brother.
Yeah, but the man who said he got a video, why
something you purchase. Go
why
in,
the nigga for the video?
play your video that you want to know, that the same Mamadi video that you're talking about, and that video that's a damn audio, stupid, that's an audio. And Mamadi had an interview, nobody talk. The time Mamadi was alive, when he asked Mr. Cummings about the gay business, Mr. Cummings explained to him, said no. Because at the time, what a stupid boy carried the news around, Mr. Cummings said, no, I'm not gay. He said, but listen, this is the life I'm struggling with. How can two men marry? Mr. Cummings being a man who's so diplomatic the way he answered questions. They ain't say nothing. They ain't say nothing. It took all those years. Boop. They edited the tape. Because the first one I was running around, that was Obe, until Obe came and admitted and said, I the one brought that thing up. So they stopped. Mamadi died, now they took Mamadi tape. Just how Henry Costa said, if I go to Liberia and nobody can protect me, I will buy a single barrel and protect myself. They took it, they changed it, they said, the guy said, I will buy a single barrel. Mr. Henry Costa won't buy a gun. The only thing seditious are good at, and some of the people from UP, I'll be honest with you, a bunch of lies. They know how to put it out there. Because our people are vulnerable. Our people can just listen to what they say because they can't read. They can't find out things for themselves. If I come right now and just post and I say, oh, they say war coming to Liberia, everybody start running with that story.
But you know, let me tell you my experience as a journalist. people, you know how we used to get news? You just go sit down to the attention and we'll have special people that will give us news. People just think that we the journalists will know everything. And so then I got to know something about us. Monique Kishen can get up and stand on Broad Street and say anything. Say they having this car coming down today. People was let me move around, man. But let me who people hearing on the radio, let me just go say this car coming out tomorrow. Say who say that leave for hey my man, I'm working to it. So
Yeah.
this is how Liberian people operate. Whether I can lie, but the fact that I work at radio station, that means anything I say that true.
Anything you say that true.
It's very quite to honor, to follow people who they think they can believe in. So for one person to come and say, "Look, this person is okay," you are not. We talk about a population of over 5 million people. So if this man is okay, that only one man is only man being okay. Why other people cannot come and get people that people?
And look at listen to some of their lies again. They put sanction on individual.
Yeah.
They say we can put sanction on Liberia. They put sanction on individual. They're running around the sedition and say, "Oh, Mr. Cummings, they paying money." One of the on the show the other day in Liberia, Mr. Cummings paying money to put sanction on Liberia. He's going to take that money and create job. So you won't tell me the market that they put sanction on? Nobody know that he's stealing. Everybody know about it. One man do not put sanction on anybody. America is not a country that just listen to one person and say, "Okay, thank you, I'm going to do this." So the seditions, because they got nothing to run on, they won't change the narrative, they won't change the story. But guess what? We're smarter than them. We pass that level.
This is the question I always ask them. I got special group of seditions that we argue all the time. Anything, by the time they just waiting for me, by the time I post, I can be writing, they be answering, say, by the time I post, they on me. And no true group, we can't get tired until one of us sleep. So one of the questions I asked them, so if you people believe that Mr. Cummings can go to the State Department, or Treasury Department rather, and call for sanction against Nathaniel Magee and Sarina Sifo, the first thing, those people are not running to be president, and Mr. Cummings is running to be president. So why would Cummings waste his time putting sanction on a Magee that doesn't want to be president, Sarina Sifo that's not even near presidency?
Why you get here to John here? Yeah. If they make that power.
Yeah, so come
why you get here?
But then you respect the man because you get this kind of big power that you can put sanction on your whole government. Then you respect him now. They say no, we can't respect him. He ain't got much power. So you see that. So the people are confused. But I think I will call you a night because
thank you very much. You got what time is it to you?
The time is exactly 10 minutes, almost 10 minutes to 1 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, Jesus Christ, my man. Anyway, I'm blaming because when I sleep in, I tell you, I say you're moving too.
I know, right?
Thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it. I will try and find another time that we'll come and have something. But I'll say, y'all, the day you're ready, y'all let me know.
Yeah,
if it's on a Wednesday, it's
soon.
easy. Yeah, just let me know on a Wednesday or in the evening time whatsoever.
Okay, yeah, we'll get you on soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much and have a good day, Lanford. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Okay, guys, thank you very much for joining me. And this is Munal Kishen, the General. And for those of you who understand me, you know I just went out of character, but it's nothing. But it's sometimes painful. I will tell you today, coming on social media and lying is painful. There's certain things I can't post. Even some of the things, I have videotapes that I did for President Weah from 2005 that I edited. I could come back and just make a little video and just put it out raw. It will not still serve the purpose. It would not serve the purpose. I got pictures. I traveled. President Weah owe me. I owe him. He didn't do nothing for me. He didn't pay me. I never asked him because I was doing it for Liberia. But everything I said, I stand by it, that he's a terrible leader. And I realized that he was a terrible leader when he became a senator. That is when I made up my mind. Other people still made up their mind. Other people were there because of what they want. If Mr. Cummings was not somebody who been consistent, I won't be with him. Oh, but Mr. Cummings not president. Yes, but guess what? When I look back and listen to Mr. Cummings' 2017 message, he upgraded his messages instead of downgrading it. If Mr. Cummings are going to join the Masonic Temple, if Mr. Cummings are going to join and start working the government and start playing with some corrupt and start doing some crossing some corrupt deeds, and I'm not going to support Mr. Cummings for 27, 23 again. No way. But he's been consistent and saying the same thing over and over and still telling Liberian people. And he's the first politician that I know that will look in your face and say, my brother, behind closed door, not publicly, behind closed door. Other people say, my man, if I win, this is what we'll do. But he look at you one-on-one, he said, my man, I need your support. The first day I got on the Zoom with Mr. Cummings, Lenfa was there. Other people say, I need your support. He said, thank you, Munir, for supporting me. Thank you very much. He said, I appreciate it. I watch your video. I see your video. I said, oh, for true? He said, yes. He said, thank you. Thank you. Then he said, but one thing I will tell you, because he addressed us one at a time, because our first time getting the Zoom. He said, I hope you're not supporting me because you think that I owe you and you will have to get XYZ. But if that's what you got on your mind, then you can you can hold back your support. Trust me, that thing motivated me. The only person I ever heard that thing from the first time was Serenius Fall. He said, son, I want you to drive me. I want you to take me to work. When we start getting to know, he said, don't think that because you're driving me, you will take advantage. I said, like what? He said, I mean, you will start crossing your own deals with people because you think I'm the minister of labor and because I will not take it from you. You was the first man that I ever heard that I felt. I say, yes, you make me to relax, can do what I'm supposed to do. Because my thing is that if you are a corrupt man and I'm working with you, my job is not secure. Let me tell you today, that's my belief. If I'm working with anybody who is corrupt, who are no like to take things and this, my job is not secure because you can fire me anytime. And at the same time, little mistake, even I try to be corrupt like you and I make any mistake and eat more than you, it's a problem. That is why the corrupt leader will tell you, say, I want you to conjugate the verb to eat. You eat, I eat, I eat, you eat. If I can't eat, you must eat. That the conjugate, to how you conjugate the verb to eat is for corrupt people. Conjugate the verb to eat. You eat, I eat. I eat, you eat. If I can't eat, you must eat. I'm not part of that. That is why I support the Cummings. And I look at his platform. No Liberian politician ever put up a platform before in our lifetime. They will sing the song, oh, yes, I will do this when I'm president. But this man put his own writing. He write it down with white pen and paper. It's still on the internet and still talking about it today. He said infrastructure. He said if any country want to move, if we want to develop Liberia, if we want to create jobs, if we want our school system, our agriculture system, our health system to work perfectly, we should invest in electricity. Nobody won't go to Liberia and start running generator in your country and they won't get big company. We should get good drinking water. It's on our infrastructure. We need internet connectivity. We got fiber optic in Liberia. You do know that? Then you will outsource job. Do you know what it look like if Comcast outsource their call center to Liberia because Liberia is a perfect candidate? University of Liberia student will run for jobs. Because imagine Comcast will be paying $6, $7, $8 an hour in Liberia. United Nations, what they pay? They pay their drivers $300 a month. University student were running behind the driving job. You don't know that? But they can be waste their time to get internet. I can't go so and cancel and cancel. You need good roads. Not to just fix road because you want for the people to vote for you. Not to just pin the road and put a solar system light when it's not even, it have no economic benefit. But you put a solar system street light that has nothing to do with the businessmen who don't have the light. That's not what Mr. Comey is talking about. Which are the politician that tell you, say, I will fight corruption. I'm not saying I will minimize corruption. I will stop corruption. But I will stop corruption by putting things into place that will not allow you to steal. Because if you steal, we will prosecute you. Steal people will steal. But there's a law there that you'll be prosecuted. He said law and order. We will give the reputable organization the logistics. We will pay people living wage, not minimum wage, but living wage, because he respects the dignity of labor. A sweeper that making his money will appreciate it because he wants to be part of that eating bowl. We got resources. He ain't got to depend on a free port container that coming to continue to hijack short term and long term. We're talking about real agriculture. This man, he's a planner. He plan for things. He just get into it. I am proud to be part of the 7%. The 7% are the one who you are afraid of today. The 7% is the favorite of 2023. If you don't know, you can keep it to yourself. You don't have to believe me. But let me say you today, save it. We will defeat you like old cop. The Liberian people will vote for Mr. Cummings. You sedition, you listening to me. Don't waste your time. You have never in your whole life acquired 50+1. And with the bad leadership, you will not get it. You won't get it before, you can get it now. And kick a dog go against you in the second round, they will defeat you. That's all I can tell you. How I can tell you. People from UP, I'm not speaking against anybody. I'm not speaking for nobody. But I'm speaking for my candidate going in first round or winning first round. That if Mr. Cummings goes against Mr. Boaka and Mr. Weah, UP will vote. ALP will vote. Everybody, majority will vote for Ellis Cummings because Ellis Cummings is the alternative better than George Weah. And if you ask me to play a devil advocate, if Mr. Boaka go against President Weah, ANC people will vote, ALP will vote, Liberty Party will vote, they will vote against George Weah. Because we can't give another second term. If Mr. Tiawon Gonglo, we will do the same thing. It's not that we hate President Weah, no. You see, politics is not a religion. I said it before, no, I would prefer Weah than anybody. But what I have seen now, if I don't speak out and be truthful to myself, that means I'm not truthful to Liberia. That means I'm fooling you that I don't like Liberia. But I will support anybody against George Weah. But my number one is Alex Cummings. Listen to me. I will support anybody against President Weah. But my support is for Alex Cummings. And some of you guys on the other side who think that Alex Cummings is a stumbling block, nobody know him, then stop the insults. Stop the insults. Because some of the people who come out and make some stupid statements are from UP, I know them. But they pretend like they're from CDC. And some of the sedition pretend they're from the other party. Someone say, that is why I don't support Mr. Cummings again, because you people there can make it. I tell you, I say you lie, you never support Mr. Cummings either. Because it's because of me, you say you can support Mr. Cummings, that means you nobody. That means you one of the ones who just follow people because they want to. So my behavior not supposed to stop you from supporting a good man. I'm going to convince you. So guys, have a good day. God bless you. I love Liberia and I sure you do. We pray for our leaders. We pray for our people. that Liberia will rise again. We will rise again. Trust me. We'll never stay back. God only showing us things that we don't want to know. But Liberia will rise again. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. And I will leave you with this. No matter how long a lizard stays into the water, it will never ever be a crocodile. It's a quote by Albert Payne. Whatever you do for yourself, some of you big people, big mouth people, whatever you do for yourself, your education, your money, your this and that, only for yourself, it will die when you die. I'm breaking it down for you. But whatever you do for others and the world will remain as immortal. That means the good you do will live forever. Your children will follow it. No matter how many houses you get, you will sleep in one room. No matter how many cars you have, you will drive one. And at the end of the day, only one will take you to the hospital, ambulance, and only one will take you to the grave. And it will not even be your car. Or maybe they might not carry you, or maybe you might not have a grave. So don't look at yourself and look down on other people and say they are nothing. And let me say this today. Do not waste your time to argue with fools. Because once their minds are made up, you can never convince them because they are fools. They will have the louder voice in the room. So what you do, you ignore them and let them go. Because if you argue with a fool, then you are one of them. If you try to convince them, if you can't convince them, you tell them, say, voila, let it stay. I know you love Liberia. I love Liberia too. You see it? You see it? I wear this thing every day. My wife and friends say, damn, when you in your Liberia business. Yes, I love my country. I love my country more than anything. If I had my own will and power, I would do the impossible. Don't you think I have the opportunity to be in government and enjoy myself? It just needs for me to come out and start to say things. And start to lie about some of them. People inbox me. Oh, your brother, part of the CDC, and this and that, this and that. My brother is my brother. I got nothing to do with that. Oh, me, that was Joey. I want to see your brother. But then he need to stop not seeing other people. So, guys, let us do what is right. And for you who have the tape of Alex Cummings, you can publish it so we can see it. Don't forget. The Lord God said on Thursday, do not forget, publish it. If you have proof, publish it. Convince us. But don't bring up stories that lie about video or recording an audio that's been edited. When it comes to you, it's also the audio that came out about the war and stupidness. Oh, that is fake. Ellis own are the right one. Shame on you guys. Shame on you. Bye for now. And I still love you guys. It's nothing personal now. Those of you who know me and I dealt with you, there's nothing personal. Nothing personal. If I see you, I will speak to you tomorrow. So don't worry. If you don't want to speak to me, that's your damn business. I don't care. Bye for now. Oh, listen. Don't forget, October 14th to the 16th, I will be in Maryland and the ANC Global Conventions 2022. So, guys, take care. Bye for now.
Stab 'em. Stop coming, stab 'em. Stab 'em. Alexander coming, stab 'em. Keep on the explode. The leaders I love, the ones I trust so much, they made a fool out of me. I've been praying to God every day, please give me a leader.
oldest republic in Africa. And yet, we're one of the least developed countries on the continent, and indeed one of the least developed countries in the world. And I say to you, my fellow Liberians, we deserve a better Liberia. We need to ask ourselves some fundamental questions. Why are we where we are? Most Liberian homes don't have electricity. Most Liberian homes don't have running water. Most Liberians are unemployed. These are things we can change. These are things we should demand of ourselves and of our leaders. We, as Liberians, cannot keep doing the same things and expect different results. We cannot keep electing and selecting the same kinds of leaders with the same kinds of experiences and expect Liberia to change. We have to do many things differently, and that starts with selecting and electing new leaders who know how to create jobs, who know how to grow the economy, who will prioritize the Liberian people first before they prioritize themselves. And this is what I offer you, the Liberian people. The other universal truth that I want to share with you, my fellow Liberians, is the best predictor of future performance and future behavior is past performance and past behavior. And again, I ask you to look at my record of job creation, of success, of managing large budgets without one penny going missing. All of these things you can look at and compare to the other candidates. And again, you will see that my past performance and past behavior is a good predictor, a good indicator that what I commit to, we will deliver. There are 5 priorities we have, and we call that the what's. And then there are 5 things we call the how we'll do it. And those priorities are as follows. Our first priority is infrastructure. Simply put, it's electricity, it's roads, it's water, and it's internet and cell phone connectivity across Liberia. We have to invest in infrastructure. That is the top priority. That's the basis on which we can and will do everything else. The second priority for us is job creation. There are too many unemployed, underemployed, and unemployable Liberians. The unemployment rate is over 85%. And therefore, job creation is our next priority, creating jobs for the Liberian people. The next priority is agriculture. We are a country that do not fear ourselves. These are things we can do for ourselves. We should be producing rice to feed ourselves. And my commitment is that by the end of my first term in office, we will be self-sufficient in rice production. And within education, we are focused on vocational training, teachers training, and adult education. But we have to educate our young people because, again, that's how we can help them create jobs. That's how we can train farmers. And so these things are all linked together. And our final priority in terms of the what's is health. Because you can have good infrastructure, you can have a good job, you can feed yourself, you can have great education, but if you don't have your health, it doesn't matter. And so health is our 5th priority, and there we're focused on primary health care and preventive health care. So those are the what's we'll do for our people, for the Liberian people. How are we going to do these things? The first how is we want to engage Liberians differently in the transformation of our country. We call this hearts and minds. How do we get all Liberians to participate in the changes that are required? We're going to use arts and music and culture and reconciliation and religion. All of these things, we will be deliberate in using these things to engage us as a people in this transformation process. And so we're doing some work on how we can make those things happen. The next how is that we're going to find the money. We have to find the resources, the money, to do all of the what I mentioned earlier. And the way we'll find the money is, first, we'll go after waste in government. You know, we spend a lot of money on things that we don't need, or we pay too much for things that we do need. So, for example, I believe the vehicles we buy for our government officials, we spend too much money on that. We should reduce the number of vehicles, and we should buy less expensive vehicles for our government officials. We need to reduce how much they make so we can pay teachers and civil servants and police officers and the military officers and healthcare workers, people who actually do the work. We need to pay them more money and reduce the gap between those at the top and those who actually do the work. The other way we'll find the money is going after this thing called corruption. You know, corruption has been the bane of our country, is the primary reason why we are as underdeveloped as we are today. And we will aggressively go after corruption. The first thing we'll do is we will appoint a corruption czar, a minister in charge of corruption in the presidency that will coordinate all of the agencies that are meant to find corrupt officials. Secondly thing we'll do is we'll make sure we are giving the resources, the money, the right people, the right logistics to the anti-corruption agencies, the LACC, Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission, the General Accounting Office, the Public Procurement and Concessions Commission. We will make sure they got the right resources to go after corrupt officials. After that, when we find people who are corrupt, we will prosecute them, we will put them in jail, and we'll seize their assets. It will not be good enough for you just to resign. Okay. So those are the things we'll do to really go after corruption. I have committed that I will not take a salary. The salary that is paid the president, I will allocate it towards helping to fight corruption. That's how important I think it is to us. And then the other way we'll find the money is we'll make sure we're getting full value, the full monies we're due from our natural resources. We'll look to exploit other natural resources so we can get the funds required to fund healthcare, to fund infrastructure, to create jobs, etc., etc. So finding the money is the second how. The next how is we want to create a government of inclusion. We want all sections of our country to be represented in the government. We want opposition political parties to be in government, because we believe that having a government inclusion will help all of us make the right decisions. It will make sure that we're spreading the resources of our country across the entire country. And then the last two hows, one is growing the private sector. We will focus on growing the private sector so Liberians can primarily benefit from that growth. No longer should Liberian business people be spectators to our economy. And we want to actively support Liberianization and encourage and provide credit and other facilities to Liberian businesses so they can participate. And last but not least, we will use technology. We'll leverage technology to help us achieve our goals. So those are the what's and the hows. But let me end by leaving you again with these two universal truths. One is we cannot keep doing the same things, my people, and expect different results. We cannot keep electing the same people with the same experiences and expect Liberia to change. We need to elect and select different people to lead us, to serve us, to help us manage and run our country. And the other universal truth is the best predictor of future performance and future behavior is past performance and past behavior. And on those two counts, I believe I stand head and shoulders above the other candidates aspiring. Together, we will change Liberia for the benefit of all Liberians. We will transform our country. We will give us a new start, a fresh start, so that all of us can benefit from this country we love. I thank you. God bless you. God bless the Republic of Liberia.
Chicken necro for day.